Hello everybody, welcome back to another KPC solo weekend live, chill live, and as soon as we start, there goes something. Hello everyone, let me know where y'all are watching from. Glad to have you all here. Hello from Germany. Guten Tag. Happy Sunday, everyone. Hello from STL. Where is STL? David was having camera issues. Yes. For some reason, the DJI wasn't connecting, so I tried everything, didn't work. And then I went to the primitive measures, the most effective measure in mankind technology history, rebooting, restarting the computer, and it worked. Yeah, it worked. So we're fully connected. What's Aaron? Hello. Duke Bias. Go to bed, David. I'm just starting here. Daniel. Hello, everyone. Hi from Japan. Hello. Konbanwa. Hello from Boston. Love your t-shirt. Oh, the Nike Soul t-shirt? People are probably going to ask me if you're going to sell that too. Yeah, as soon as I just get some time to build my Shopify store. Washington State, what's up, dude? Travis, hello. M. Kara, happy birthday. Is Rachel in the chat? Because I know it's her birthday today. It was on my calendar. So I got a little bit of plans, maybe at the end or maybe at the start. So yeah, let's look at that. Glazik, hello from France. Kristen, Canada, represent. Nashville, finally a bright and sunny day. Great to hear that. Did you get a haircut? Keen eyes. Yes, I did. Or maybe you saw my Instagram. Shiusagi, hello. I like your profile pic. Happy Sunday. How's your week been? I'll share it to you in a while. Yeah, let's do some catch-up talk and do some chill talk. So you guys prepare your questions or topics that we want to discuss together. Feliz cumpleaños M. I'm probably thinking that's happy birthday. Feliz is like celebrate something, right? Argentina, Orlando, Florida. Hello, everybody. Hi, David. Hello. Are you hungry? I'm glad that you're asking because the regulars now, the toppings and the hoodie fam know by now that these Sunday lives always incorporate some kind of eating session, right? So yeah, hello Abel. I missed your live Tuesday because of our time difference, but congratulations on securing Coldplay tickets. Yes, although it seems you went through all 5 stages of grief to get them. Yes, I assume that you've seen my stories on Instagram. Yes, thank you for following. Aloha from Hawaii. Hi from the UK. Hello. You're probably gonna have to leave soon to get ready for the celebration. Oh no, then we'll have to do it in the early spot of the live. So let me just do it right after we greet someone. I was thinking actually, you know what? Let me actually address that right after greeting everybody in the chat because I want to say hi to everybody. Did you watch the Dodger game? Dong Kim, hello. No, I only watch highlights in the case of baseball because baseball is too long for me. Yeah. Hello from San Diego, working 12-hour night shifts this weekend. Oh no, hope you survive that. I know you will, and I know you can, but strength towards you. David, North Carolina, hello Carolyn. Harleen, yes, hello. I see everyone. Everyone's about here. Hilda is here too. MG is here too. Renato is here too. David with the Rico Suave Spanish. I dig it. You do well, amigo. I have no idea whether I did right or wrong or good or bad. Anybody watch Honey's No Laugh birthday party? No, I haven't yet. No, she did something like that. I have to catch up. Okay. I think we've pretty much got everybody, including Liz, Lilac Ocean, Hoodie Gang Turtlenecks. Is Anna still scared to join you on Love? Love or Live? Yeah, it differs. Yeah. Well, anyways, first of all, Rachel gave us information from the last live stream that it's her birthday today, and as she's a regular hoodie and topping of the KPC fam, and she's been tuning in forever, I just want to like officially, put out a happy birthday, Rachel, to you. I wish you the best coming years and fortune and happiness and everything towards your way. I don't know how old you're turning. You can reveal that if you want in the chat, but everybody say happy birthday to Rachel in the chat for her. She said she had to leave. I was actually thinking of maybe ordering some, party-esque food today because we have a food delivery theme going on nowadays in this chat, in this live stream. And then she asked me to like maybe get some treats or desserts, or was it snacks, something like that. So I was like, maybe we can get something celebrative, but she'll probably be going. So happy birthday, Rachel, in advance. I hope you have a wonderful birthday. On my birthdays or any other birthdays, I usually think, you're hanging out with your, I don't know, dear friends or family and having a nice lunch or dinner at a restaurant and having cake, and I hope you get everything, all that experience. And actually, it's a bit of a bummer that you're leaving so early, because I did, it's not anything big, but I did go to the convenience store. I did put like a couple minutes of thinking into like what kind of dessert or snack would be representative of a birthday party. I mean, I can't prepare like a huge gigantic cake with like a bunch of snacks, but I thought that since this is a Korean culture and lifestyle channel, I could introduce you what Korean guys do in the military for their birthday cake. So this is why I prepared a special snack for you guys, and for Rachel in particular. This is a virtual birthday cake. So you might be wondering, this is what this is. This is chocopai jang. This is one of the oldest Korean snacks out there, and it's been 50 years since this has came out. They have like chocolate on top. It's like there's like marshmallow and bread inside. So yeah, it's since 1974. But what's interesting about it is, in the military, when we don't have like access to convenience stores or fancy food or whatsoever, there are like things that are called PXs, where the military soldiers can buy some sort of outdoor food that is distributed into the military, and one of them is the choco pie over here. So yeah, so what we do with the choco pie is usually we take out like, I guess maybe 4 or 5, and then we stack them on top of each other. So I'll show you how to do it. So I'm peeling all of these just for you, Rachel, okay? I'm a frugal person, and I probably think I'm not gonna eat all this, but since it's a special occasion and you need to go quick, let me just take care of this real quick. And okay, I'll peel 5, and I'm getting chocolate all over my hands. So yeah, usually you could do more or less, but I think this is about enough. Yeah, so you pile it on top, you make a mini cake like this, and what you do is usually you put like a little candle over here if you have a candle. But because the funny thing is, because in the military you can't get candles and everybody literally is stressed out over there and everybody smokes, they put like a cigarette on top here and then put the lighter on and then give it to the birthday guy. So I don't have anything to replace that at the moment, so sorry, I'll have to omit the candle, but this is my 정성, at least the effort, the minimal effort I can do for you, Rachel. So happy birthday, Rachel. This is your little choco pie cake, and I did what I could with my limited resources before I came to the live. So hey, so Rachel, happy birthday over here. Yeah, I tried to neatly tie it to content also, so you get it right. Okay, so Rachel, happy birthday. Choco pie cake is the classic birthday cake for Koreans. Yes, Travis knows what's going on. Yes. Rachel님 생일 축하합니다. Okay, I love that everybody is celebrating in the chat. Hope this makes a better birthday, a wonderful birthday for you. I mean, yeah. How cute. So work with what you have. Yeah, I wish I had a candle. I actually thought of putting an incense stick on it, but then the problem is I even have a lighter over there, and I thought it would be good for a visual. But then there's also a culture in Korea where you go to funerals and then you light up incense sticks and then you put them on like little lantern jars or whatever, and that's like sending your condolences to the deceased. So I thought that, even though I have restricted, resources, I thought that would not be an occasion. So, anyways, I will eat this in behalf of you, Rachel. Okay? This is what I can do. Choco pie is good. I hope you can get like a choco pie for yourself from a local H Mart or Korea Mart and try it out. Yeah. Can you say Kyungsu Oppa wishes you a happy birthday? Kyungsu Oppa wishes you a happy birthday, Rachel. Happy birthday. Congratulations. Happy birthday to you. Okay. Great. I'm also eating one now. Great, great. I'll make those choco pies stay there for a while. It's fall, so it's not that hot outside, so they'll probably be okay for a few hours. The one downside about choco pies is that it's very like how can I explain it? It's very like crumbly, so it just all falls apart and you have a lot of like breadcrumbs left. But just to continue a little bit more about the military stories, choco pie is indeed a Korean classic traditional, not traditional, but a Korean classic snack. Probably one of the oldest. But especially in the military, it has its significance because of the birthday cake, but also when you're in the training camps for like 4 weeks, you get mandatory training before you get like designated to your own base. In that period, the only occasion or event where the soldiers can actually relieve their stress and have fun is religious activities. And every Sunday, I don't know why, but for all religions, every Sunday, the camp gives you opportunities to select which kind of religious activity you want to participate in, and they make you choose. So there's basically Christian, like church, and there's also Buddhist, and there's also like circular Buddhism, whatever you call it. It's called Wonbulgyo. So I think those are the main three you can attend to. I think there was something else, but I don't remember. Probably not Catholic. But then each religious activities have their own perks. And they basically try to, like get you to come to their own religious activities. And the funny thing is, the way they actually persuade you is, there are rumors even before you go to the activities that this, like, for example, church is going to give out 1 Coca-Cola and 1 choco pie with like a candy. And they give you that with like, of course, like a little pamphlet saying like, oh, Christ is the savior, believe and whatever. And if you go and if you get baptized like real quick. You can sign on like some kind of a pledge, and then you get baptized. They give you an extra choco pie. So everyone becomes Christian in the military for a choco pie, and they literally sell their soul for a choco pie. It's because during training, you can't really get any access on outdoor, like outside food. The only food you have is like military food, which is pretty horrible. Nowadays it's gotten better, I would assume. But then everybody sells their soul for a little snack. And then that's the case for church, I guess, because like you're confessing that Christ is your savior and that you'll go to heaven and you'll not do bad deeds and all that kind of stuff. But then the funny thing is, the next week you betray Christ and then you go to Buddha, and then they give you their own kind of snacks, which is different. They have like different snacks, so they're competing on each other to get like more soldiers there. And there are rumors, so like not only for the snacks, but if you go to church, like they do like their gospels and all that, and it's like very fun. We have the military version of it. It's basically like a concert. But also the funny thing is, for each religious activity they bring in like different performers, and usually, ironically, the performers are very like sexy kind of girls or idol groups. Like, it's not usually like A grade, A tier idol groups. They're not even B tier. They're usually like C or D tier idols that nobody knows, or they're not even idols. They might be just local performers, but usually they're very like sexy girls in like very revealing clothes, and they come on and on stage, and then they dance to like idol music and stuff like that, and the soldiers go crazy. And people might ask, what does that have to do with church or Buddha or other religions? But that's just how it is. It's just like boosting the morale for the soldiers, and I guess that has its like own cause itself. Like, you're giving happiness, and the pastor or like the monk comes up and says his like little sermon or little message, and that doesn't even last that long, but it's just basically choir and all that kind of stuff. But it's so funny and so ironic. But yeah, like technically I would say the whole population, the whole Korean men population, is Christian, because technically they've either got baptized or they've signed a sheet at the military church. I have seen every single guy go to church, yeah, during the military. That's so funny. Yeah, so I mean, me as a Christian, okay, I actually sold my soul too. I'm confessing on YouTube. I'm a Christian. Of course, I'm baptized already, but I got baptized another time because I want that choco pie too. I want a reward for being a faithful Christian for all these years, right? It doesn't make sense if these hypocrites are just going for the choco pie and they're getting baptized just for the sake of that, and I don't get anything, right? So I'm gonna line up too, right? So yeah, I'm sorry, God. Yeah, so let me show you how the military is. This is how it is. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's kind of crazy. Not sure getting baptized for choco pies count. Yeah, this is 2019, but this is basically what they do in military church. It's like a cult, almost. Yeah, they're just like relieving their stress and all that, and it's fun. It's fun. So nothing harmful. And like, see, like, this is like a episode about religious activities. They go to church, right? So this guy is at church, and it's depicted a little like different here, but as you can see, the pastor gives you a choco pie. It's like, yeah. So you can basically see, like, and then he goes and sneaks behind, and then he's like eating it all by himself because he might get it stolen by his superiors. And then probably someone comes walking around, and then they ask you, what are you doing? And then you were eating a choco pie, right? You have a choco pie over here, and yeah, you hide it in your cabinets and all that. And yeah, choco pie is definitely like a very, very big thing. I don't know why they didn't add cola here, but usually it's choco pie and Coca-Cola. Yeah. Oh, they do have Coca-Cola. Okay. Yeah, it's usually choco pie and Coca-Cola. There you go. So, yeah, this is like the holy holy blessing. Yeah. And then you go you go to a Buddhist whatever service next time again. Right after Christianity, he's been to church in the last episode, right? Everybody's here at the Buddhist temple, and then they get another Coca-Cola. I don't know if that's Coca-Cola, but it says like 0 over there. But yeah, they get gifted more stuff, and yeah, he even has like this Buddha thing on it, and then there's like a so this is what happens. This is what happens. Yeah. So this is kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. And just to let you know what kind of girls come to the church. Let's see. 근데 교회 여자. I don't think I can find anything right now, but yeah, there you can see girls. You can see like this is a very wholesome group, but like guys go crazy over these girls. You know, even if they're not in revealing clothes. So it's more like a concert hall. Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, this is wild, right? That's wild. So, that's a little bit of Korean military culture for you guys. The new harlot of Christianity, choco pie. Yes. This is wild, I know, right? Yeah, hello Nicole. Hello. Yeah, all of our regulars in the chat. The choco pie seduction. Exactly. Yeah. So it's very funny. It's very fun. Have you tried the new Oreo Coke Zero? I'm not sure if I want to try that out. Yeah, that sounds... I've seen it. I've seen it for sure in the convenience store, but I haven't tried it yet. A bit scary. Yeah, it looks like a cult, right? I'm sure that 90% of those folks over there don't give a F about Christ or God. They're just there for the choco pies and the girls. Yeah, that's how it was when I was there. Oh, and I had to show you this. Like, I wanted to show you this. Oh, this is gonna get copy striked, but this was so funny. I shared it on my Instagram. I had to share you this, so I'll try to cut it within like 5 seconds so you can see. But yeah, this shit was so funny. It's supernova in the military. So this is so funny. I just had to share. So I'll try to cut the audio in like 10 seconds. Look at this. This is what they do in the military. Yeah. And then there's this guy at the end. Like, he goes crazy. Wait, was this the actual clip? Oh, it was this guy. It was this guy. This guy's crazy. Yeah, it's this guy. Look at this. What the frick is going on? This is crazy. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is crazy. Yeah. Korean military can get crazy sometimes. Yeah. Choco pie is just too good. I will also do it. Yeah, right? As long as it's peaceful, I know. Yeah. How do people in church behave compared to the outside everyday people? You mean like in normal settings, like actual church or military church? Because those are very two different things. I actually went to church today, and they're just like decent people. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, learn Spanish, please. It's very useful, especially in the States. Uh, Hopefully, when I get a little bit more financially stable and I have more time to put, other than like putting food on my table, yeah, I want to learn. Like, I'm always down to learn new stuff, new cultures. So, I'd love to learn Spanish. It's the second most used language in the world, I think. Or is it not? I probably English. Is Chinese like population wise more than Spanish or not? Let's see. 전 세계 언어 비율. Let's see. Um so it says in 2022, English, Chinese, Mandarin, Hindi, and then is Spanish. Wow. So China and India, just because of their population, they're like at number 2 or 3. And then there's Spanish. So like worldwide, I would assume like that has more, what do you call it? Like more regions you can cover other than a single country. I would say Spanish is most influential after English. Yeah, and then it's French. Wow. Okay. And then we go on Arabic, Bengali, Russian, Portuguese, Urdu, Indonesian, German, standard? What's German? Is there like not standard? Japanese, Nigerian, Pidgin. Wow. Marathi. I don't even know where Korean is. Would there be Korean? Yeah. I don't think there even would be Korean, so yeah. The muscle one is definitely Karina. Yes, I thought so too. I can teach you Singlish, David. If I do a Singlish impersonation, are you going to be offended? Because some people think that's racist. I can try to talk in Singlish lah because I lived a little I lived a little bit in no, that's not how. Oh, I forgot all. I used to imitate taxi drivers all the time when I was in Singapore and my friends. David, you want to no. I forgot all of it. Oh my gosh. It's after all it's been like 6 or 7 years since I've been there. But yeah, it's funny. There's Swiss German. Oh, okay. Like Uncle Roger. It's a little bit different, I would say. Like kind of similar, but Singapore has their own accent for sure. Yeah. I'm gonna eat another choco pie, and yeah, I was about to order a viral yogurt ice cream in Korea called Yoajong. Girls love it. I don't know why, but I was just going to order it for Rachel because it seemed like a little mini cake with a lot of like fruits and decorations on top, and then we could like do like a little mini celebration since I got into the mukbang mode for the past few weeks. But yeah, now that I have the choco pie, I'm debating. Did Ryan get offended and is he not responding? The main language in Singapore is English, and then there's Chinese. I'm not sure if like which one is like bigger, but from what I've experienced, it was mainly in English. Yeah. Can you teach us how to sing happy birthday in Korean? Yeah, for sure. It's the same. 생일 축하합니다. 생일 is birthday. 축하 is celebrate. 합니다 is like I celebrate. Yeah, we celebrate. Yeah. So happy birthday to you. It's the same. 생일 축하합니다. 생일 축하합니다. 사랑하는 is like our beloved or dear someone, right? So 사랑하는 my name Kim Kyung-soo, or if it's Rachel, Rachel, I guess, like if you had to like Koreanize it. Rachel. 생일 축하합니다. Woo, that's it. It's the same. 생일 축하합니다. 생일 축하합니다. 사랑하는 레이첼 생일 축하합니다. Woo. Then blow wish and that's it. Yeah. That was a good attempt, La. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah, I had a lot of Singaporean friends. I wonder what they're all doing now. Uncle Roger has a little bit of exaggerated accent. He kind of like almost plays the stereotype a little bit too hard, I would say. Hiya! What is that? That is not Tom Yam Goong. That is not Pad Thai. Oh my god! Uncle Roger beat Gordon Ramsay. Happy Sunday, Monday, hoodie gang. Bye, Rachel. Hope you have a nice birthday. You know how Singapore is one of the richest countries in the world, right? Despite it being a little city nation. And there are a lot of leaning factors towards it. But a lot of people point that the fact that they have designated English, dedicated English and Chinese as their main languages is like one of the biggest factors of their huge success. They've put a lot of like tariff or tax benefits towards companies and trade in their nation. So a lot of global companies set their Asian APAC HQs there, like financial headquarters. They have like, huge banks all over there. It's like a global hub. And they're always very innovative with like technology. And for instance, it's becoming the blockchain cryptocurrency hub right now. And also one other thing is like, I would have to be careful about this, but they're in like a certain dictatorship, under a dictatorship from Lee Kuan Yew. But he was like, I guess, in a perspective a visionary, and then he just pushed forward like his agendas, and he just improved and developed the country so much. He's very frequently compared to Korea's Park Chung-hee, and I think his family is still ruling right now. But as I said, why China is accelerating is because, of course, it has its manpower, its population, and huge economy, but also Xi Jinping is like in a huge dictatorship right now. And while democracy has to go through like multiple layers, there's so many organizations or parties you have to satisfy, right? There's like multiple layers of law, human rights, blah blah blah. I'm not saying Singapore is like that, but in the case of China, like whatever the CCP wants to do, they can push forward. If they're like confiscate all the funds from all these big tech giants, or make these companies national property, they can do it. Like if surveil on like internet criminals, or like get that data and blah blah blah, that they have all the power to do it. So whatever the national agenda is, they can push that so fast without the approval of the parliament or the Congress or the people. They just push that forward. And then, of course, if you don't have any kind of barricades or barriers, then if that's the right direction, then of course the speed of improvement or development of a society, I guess, economy wise or technology wise, can be faster than a democracy. But I think Singapore is like kind of a hybrid model. Yeah. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Nowadays, there's a lot of people complaining in Korea too that because the two parties, all they do is just fight in the Congress. They don't do anything. They don't do any legislative behaviors. It always get pushed back. Whatever they care is only about like their own benefits, like the Congress members. So like nothing really good happens in our society. A lot of people are just very frustrated with that, and a lot of people sometimes have nostalgia with the Park Chung-hee days when things were actually getting done. Nowadays, like it just seems like the parliament members only care for their own welfare. So those kind of bills that affect their own welfare or something they can like rig and get funds out of, they pass those very, very fast collectively. But if it's something like the little tiny thing about like the betterment of society, both sides always have to have an opposite stance. Whatever it is, they don't care. They just make it into a whole political feud and controversy, and that bill gets stuck there for like years, and it never really happens. Right now, I guess the opposition party, which is the de facto ruling party, because they have like more than 160 seats, so they can pass a bill just by themselves. But there is also like a veto from the president, and also there is like even politics going inside their own party as well. So it's not that easy, but when they have like a collective agenda, they try to push it through. But then that also gets scrapped when the ruling party changes. So it's like flip flop, and I guess that's why in a democracy it's just very hard to make some sort of bill happen, right? So I guess that's pretty much the same in every kind of democracy, and a lot of people are saying that's a very stressful process to see. Yeah. Two-party systems are always like that, and no one will meet in the middle. Yeah, that's what's happening. While our, I guess, competitors in dictatorship models, I guess Russia and China, they don't give an F. If you oppose, like, kill them, execute, or, go for their families, the KGB or whatever. Am I watching too much HBO and Netflix? But yeah, Putin's gonna do Putin, Xi Jinping's gonna do Xi Jinping. And if they want to expand, invade, so it's very different from a democracy for sure. And if you go to China is, I would say, arguably the most developed country in the world right now. If you've never been to mainland China, places like Shanghai, Hangzhou, Beijing, if you go to those places, your eyeballs will fall out, because it's not, I don't know how many of you actually know that much about China, but I've been to those places briefly as a tourist. I'm not that intellectual about China itself, but I can assure you that, like, whatever you've seen in what is that movie? Whatever you've seen on the dystopian space cyberpunk, that's how China is right now. They have like crazy skyscrapers. They have like high-tech things all over the place. All electric cars, vehicles, bicycles. Not all, but a lot of adoption. And they don't use, there's like a totally cashless society. I regret even like bringing any kind of yuan when I was there. Yeah. The only thing they use is WeChat Pay. Everything is done by WeChat Pay, totally cashless, no currency at all. A lot of people shit on Chinese technology, but the thing is, okay, there might be some flaws in the technology itself, but it's just very affordable for the people. So like even high-tech technology, let's say like there's a Galaxy Fold, and in a month there's going to be a fold version from Huawei or a different, Chinese brand over there. And the Chinese people, they have like over 1.3 billion people or whatever, right? So yeah, Korea is like 500, like I'm tripping right now, 50 million. So not 1.3 billion. It's like 50 million. Oh, these English numbers again. 50 5천만. So it's like 100 million people, million people or whatever. No, 13억이니까 1,000, 1 billion. Yeah, yeah. 100 million. Next is like a billion. Yeah, right. So they have like 1.3 billion people or whatever. So they don't need to actually. Of course, they're the biggest exporters of the world, but theoretically, they don't really need to export to like maintain their economy. They like the domestic um, consumerism and whatever can maintain their society. And if they have high tech technology proliferated in an affordable cost, the Chinese consumers will buy that. So if you go over there, it's a whole different world. I mean, of course, rural China is like the gap between rural China and like the cities are huge. Like I would say from Stone Ages to maybe even like 2040 level, but if you go to really developed places in China, I would actually recommend some of you. As much as as much as you guys think that I'm like a Chinese China hater or whatever, I've always been very clear that I don't agree with the CCP model and like the dictatorship and like the human rights issues and how China views history and how it's trying to infiltrate our country and Taiwan and like global politics and all that, and about like surveillance and yeah, all those kind of things. I don't agree in those factors. That's why I'm very like negative about it. And sometimes culture wise, like when tourists comes, they can be very rude towards our country and they don't follow our rules and such. So there's a lot of like reasons I might be negative about like the CCP and the culture or like the history bending itself. But you gotta admit, it's one of the most developed countries right now. If you go to their cities, at least the big cities, it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. So China, a lot of people, a lot of I guess futurologists are suspecting that China is going to be the next superpower within like 50 years. And the speed of development in technology, economy, global power, influence, trade, all of that is just expanding at an exponential level where democracies can't follow. I guess the US still has an upper hand in military, but let's see how China does. They might catch up in like a few years. So it's kind of scary. And they own property all around the world. They have so much money. Half of Suwon, half of Jeju Island, a lot of places just in Korea. Like in Busan, if you go to Marine City, half of the apartments are empty. They're all owned by rich Chinese people. And if you go to like, I don't know, Australia, I heard there's a huge China population over there that owns a lot of property. They own property all around the world. So they're one of the richest folks out there, most influential. Their economy is booming, military power is expanding. So probably it's going to be the next superpower, and a lot of people in Korea are saying we got to pick a line. Of course, like US history wise has always been our bloodshed ally, and China has invaded us and all that. But then there are certain parties and presidents especially from the progressive liberal side, saying that we need to do like good politics with China as well, because we need to line up. Well, geographically we're closer to them, culturally we're closer to them, and trade wise they have huge impact on us too. The US, they might have their like fleets and all their navy forces and military troops here, but then the global geopolitical situation is changing too, because the US also is in deep shit. A lot of people say, I'm no expert, but a lot of economists say that like the multi-trillion dollar debt they have, also the dollar devaluating, also like politicians like Trump saying, we got to keep our shit first. America comes first. We are not going to be the global police anymore. Why do we have to protect the Middle East, Asia, South Korea? They have even better airports and whatever. You've seen all of that, right? So that's why Korean people, they're not very fond of Trump, because like when he becomes president, a lot of people are afraid that Trump is going to, pull back all the US forces from Asia or Korea, all those troops, which were the last straw for China, that was preventing China to invade our country, or Taiwan. But like, in US politics right now, like whatever they're saying, like we got to fix our shit first. Like we got to make our citizens more jobs. And why are we spending like trillions of dollars on military defense for the Asian country? I get it. I get it. As a American citizen, you would think like that. That's logical. But from a, like international point of view, a lot of Koreans are just like frightened of that, and like a lot of Asians in general, even Japan, because like Korea first, Japan, right? They're like, if the U.S. isn't out here for us, there's no deterrent for China, from like no stopping China from expanding. Like what are we gonna do when China starts, like they absorb North Korea, and then they say like, we were all one before, and our history goes back, and all those like claims about history, and it slowly starts. And that's what's like Russia's doing with the Balkan Peninsula and like the whole Ukraine situation, right? So it's very frightening, honestly. Yeah. And China is also right now trying to topple down the U.S. petrodollar. So the reason, one of the reasons the U.S. dollar is like the king, is also because of the U.S. economy and its status, but also it's because it's tied to the petroleum, and it's like pegged together. I think it was like, I forgot the president. I forgot this history, but like one of the U.S. presidents made like a huge deal with the Middle East, and they said you can only trade petroleum through the dollar. So that's why all the currencies had to be like traded through the dollar and stuff, and that's why the US dollar became like the superpower of the whole currencies out there. But right now China is trying to wiggle their way in and say like, times have changed. Why are you doing like a monopolized one-sided deal with the US? Like, we're a superpower too. We can trade petroleum too with the yuan, right? Yuan. So if that happens, then the dollar devalues too, and so I don't know what's going to happen. I'll probably be struggling and be a victim of inflation, as I am already, but yeah. Many Chinese in Mexico are very rich. They own restaurants, businesses, and companies. Same here, same here. Some economists say that the EU is in deeper trouble because they focused so much on social security in the past and did not focus on their defenses. That could be true too, yeah. Stop hitting the table, my eardrums are gonna burst. I'm so sorry. I did not expect that. Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully you're I guess you are listening through earplugs. What do you call it? Earphones. Has David been using skincare? No, I haven't been doing anything. Yeah. It's because the Chinese work so hard and don't give up. That's in their nature too, but it's also multi-factored, because like still Chinese labor is so cheap, domestically and internationally too. If you go to all the construction sites, like I'm not even lying. There is a huge reluctance towards manual labor in Korea right now. It's actually a huge problem. So young Koreans and even people in their 30s and 40s, they are reluctant towards any kind of manual labor that's like physically challenging. They only want to be in offices, air conditioned places, even if they get a lower wage. And they're not even applying for jobs right now. And the statistics show that. But if you hear a lot of like stories from actual construction workers that are working in construction sites right now, that are building apartments, that are building buildings and all those kind of things, a lot of people say like more than half of the workers over there are either Chinese and they have their own groups, or either like Southeast Asians or like Indians or whatever, like imported workers. I wouldn't say imported, but it's like they just come by choice. And it's becoming a huge problem. Some people see it as like, it's cheaper labor, so like it's good for the economy, but some other people see it as like a threat as well. Because I mean, well, there's nothing we can do about it, because like Koreans are the ones that are avoiding those jobs, and there's like an opening for that, and there's like supply. So, there's going to be people filling in those gaps, and it's going to be international people who want those jobs, right? Who are happy with that wage. And it's not even like lower wage. I heard there's like a difference in wage from Korean workers and international workers because of the labor law or whatever. But still, that's how it is nowadays. And yeah, the youth, especially the youth, like millennials and onwards, like Gen Z, they're like, I don't need to earn $5,000 per month. Like if you go to a construction site, you could get a good $100, or at least like $120 per day if you're at like a good site. Of course, your work, what do you call it? The stability would be different, because once the project is done, you'll have to get assigned another big project, and you don't know if you'll actually get that job or not, right? But if you're a construction worker, you can actually earn a pretty decent income, because it's like manual labor and it's so like avoided, and not a lot of people want to do it. So thus the demand goes high, and thus the wages go high. So they give you like $100 to $120 per day for like legit jobs. I'm not talking about like temporary jobs. You go to like temporary labor sites and you apply for them like day by day. It's like I'm talking about like Samsung apartments or LG apartments and all those kind of things under like a contractor that hires like actual people. So if you're in that situation, you can earn a lot. But the Gen Z and the millennials right now, even including myself, they're like, I don't need to earn that much money. I can just be a convenience store worker, earn $2,000 per month, or be a delivery worker at the least, or be like a taxi driver. It's fully air conditioned. You don't have to deal with like very hard physical labor. You don't have to deal with human relationships. They're like, I'm just good with that. Like I can eat food for the rest of my life. All I need is like a little room and a computer and my smartphone, and that should be it. I don't want anything big in my life. Like our economy is effed anyways. I don't have any hope of buying a house. I'm not gonna have a family. No one likes me anyway. So let me just be content with this life and like work at a fast food restaurant or whatever, and that's it. So that's like a rising trend nowadays, and there are like system abusers from the youth. That's becoming a huge problem too, because the employment rate is like so low. The government doesn't want to like make the youth starve to death, so they give out like subsidiaries or like funds to people who have recently got fired or laid off or voluntarily just quit their jobs, and they give them like temporary relief for like a couple months. They give you $1,000 per month or something like that if you verify that you have been interviewing and you've been applying for certain jobs, but you don't get it. And if you file that and report that to the government, they give you $1,000 for them to like foster, like, okay, keep on trying to get jobs and such. Until then, up to this amount of months, we'll give you $1,000 just so you don't go starving or whatever. So a lot of people I know too, and a lot of younger people, it's been huge in the news. There's so many jobless young people that are abusing that system right now, that they're like, you know what? I'll just work at like this little company that gives me like $1,800 or $2,000 per month, live a happy life, and then once I meet that minimum limit where the labor law states that if you if you work this much and then decide to leave, you're applicable for that, fund registration or whatever. And so they're going through the loopholes, and they're like, okay, and then they're just like putting in effortless applications to companies, and they're just showing that as verification, and they're getting $1,000 per month until the max, and then they actually get a job, do that same cycle over and over again. And I guess in the long term, when they become out of that age range of being a young person, which is up till 34, I don't know what they're going to do. They're probably going to become something, but a lot of people are saying that this is the hopeless generation, and people just don't want to work anymore. Um, and a lot of people pointed towards the harsh economy, of course, the environment. I don't think that can be an excuse. A lot of people point the reason towards social media, because like you only see so good and good quality lifestyles on social media. Everybody's, going to hotels, traveling, driving Lambos, eating like $100 mango bingsus and shit like that. So they're like, I can't climb the ladder in this life, so I give up. I'm just gonna live my life with $1,000 per month, and yeah, so that kind of stuff. And what they say about Korea is economy wise and also culture wise, the ongoing saying has been like, we follow Japan by 10 years behind. So whatever Japan has experienced 10 years before is the current Korea. And this is exactly what the Japanese economy and the society has been experiencing. They have a huge hikikomori problem, and also the youth, they're just being like convenience store workers, or they're not working at all, or they're being kangaroos, like just leeching off of their parents and stuff like that. And they have no hope. They don't want to date. They don't want to get married. Some people even date anime. I guess those are the otaku's extreme cases, but I heard that's a huge problem in Japan as well. So, yeah, it's kind of very dystopian. Yeah. So, let's see. Let's go back in the comments for a bit. Why is Korea considered the most depressing country? Maybe some of the factors I described right now. It's not solely because of that, but there are a lot of factors that add up to it. On top of that, there's the competitive society. You don't actually have a youth. You're always studying, studying, studying. You don't even have time to play sports or games during your youth. You're going from academy to academy. You're always getting graded from 1 to 9, and then that grade determines your whole life, because you get into universities, which are another gate to getting into better companies and stuff. But the pie is so small, so you're always on a constant, rat race and competition. Not even academics, but in terms of beauty standards, you always have to be pretty. If you're ugly or fat or whatever, you're deemed as a loser. That affects your performance in workspace as well. Like, you can't buy houses, you can't afford to have a baby. Men and women seem to hate each other on the internet. And yeah, everybody's just so very materialistic. You have to have a Louis Vuitton bag or like a Rolex. If you don't drive the 3 German automobile companies, you're a loser. If you drive a Hyundai, you're a loser. All that shit. So maybe all of those combined. How old is David? Try to guess. It's a global issue. I would assume it is, but I think it's a little bit more extreme here, because the country is just very small, and the competition here is just too harsh. When I've been to other countries, at least, if the good thing about like a big landmass and nature and all, like, there are the mega cities, right? But you have little cities, towns, and here and there, which have a little bit of a slower, more chill life. You don't have too many people to compare, and you can have like a decent life with like a local community or a local company. and the cities aren't failing. But Seoul's problem, another problem with Korea, is like everything's focused in Seoul. If you don't make it in Seoul, you don't really have any kind of jobs or opportunities to make it in the rural areas. It's very tough over there. Busan is actually shrinking in. It's like the fastest aging city in Korea, which is like the second biggest country. So that just tells a lot. I've been to Yosu recently. I've been to other places, and I have to say, like, everybody's putting a blind eye on it, but the countryside or other cities are failing right now. There aren't any young people. I don't see any kind of economic stimulation going on over there. So, yeah, it's just very hard. We have that in the US too. It's called unemployment benefits. Yeah, I guess a lot of governments would have that. The problems we see with the hello living sweetly and basically me, the problems we see with the younger generations are the ones we created in the past. People hate to work nowadays. Yes. And I'm not exactly the best person to represent this, because at least on the surface level, a lot of people think, part of the problem I said is like social media, right? And part of the problem is people see so much instant success of ordinary people on social media, especially on YouTube and content platforms like TikTok. And they become influencers, and they become like, they gain a lot of followers, and they suddenly make a business and become successful. They gain AdSense and super chats and donations. I would appreciate any kind of PayPal today. But speaking of, anyways, like people, even I and even my friends, whenever we see Africa TV streamers and BJs and them getting like millions of dollars just by doing like a 02 dance or whatever, or Biki Biki dance, like people feel demotivated, and they're like, what? The value of labor is not actually valued in our society. Yeah, if you just do stupid stuff on the internet, you can succeed. And a lot of people might argue, like, why don't you do it too? But then, like, you're hit with the walls of reality, and then yourself, and there's so many barriers to actually do it. But then you're constantly on social media because you have free time, and you're constantly comparing yourself with those influencers. I saw a post yesterday about the Hawk Twa girl getting like the biggest podcast audience, or like a huge deal with Kick or whatever, after Joe Rogan and like another podcast show. And a lot of people in the comments were super salty. They were like, oh, she said one vulgar quote or like two words, and then she got famous. The interviewer didn't even get any credit. Like, she's not even that talented or funny. Like, she said like one joke, and that internet stardom happened, so this is why people don't want to work, and blah blah blah. And I think that kind of narrative or discourse is universal as well. Yeah, and I think social media has definitely impacted our society so much, like in terms of dating too. Like nowadays, a lot of people argue that in the old days, when the world wasn't that connected, hyper connected, if you were living in like a random city in the US, let's say, I don't know, let me just say a random name like Charlottesville, or somewhere like Springfield, from somewhere. I don't even know how big those cities are, but like let's say it's a local community. Like if you're born there, you have a local business going on, you meet someone at the pub or like another store, and then you fall in love, and then you make a family, and you live happily ever after. That was how it is nowadays. But nowadays, with the advent of the app, like dating apps like Instagram and YouTube, you're seeing the whole world and all these attractive people, and they're comparing each other. And I'm like, I have other options. Like, I don't have to get married right now. Like, oh, this person's not attractive enough, and the standards go up, but your reality is still here. So the disparity is creating like a huge paradox. And yeah, I think social media has definitely impacted society in a good way, but there are super super bad downsides as well, and I'm feeling that. I think I'm a victim of that too, honestly. Yeah, lots of construction workers in Korea are middle-aged ajaxis because young people don't want to do hard labor. Exactly, and the vicious cycle goes on, because once these young people, if they keep being unemployed for their entire 30s, and then they hit 40 and then they have no chance. Like they can't even be taxi drivers, or they can't be delivery workers, whatever. The only option they have is to become a construction worker or a manual labor worker too. And then it goes on and on and on like that. Super depressing to me to date an AI. Well, you better check out the VTubers. They're racking in money. They are racking in money. Yeah. Constant pressure to succeed, exactly. That's right. I'm one of the problematic people as Japanese. Are you? There's no shame in that, because I feel you too. I feel you. I was actually going to get to this because I'm very depressed right now, but like let's save that for a little later. Yeah. Who cares if I'm a loser? At least I'm happy. Yeah, so that's what I felt when I was like in Texas, for instance. When I was in my friend's place in like Austin, there was nothing around in 100-meter radius. It was just that apartment complex. We had like a HEB over there, and then you had like a little train that goes downtown. You had like a Texas Roadhouse, steakhouse or whatever, and you just have your pool, like fitness center. And I asked my friend, like, what do you do over here? And he's like, I watch YouTube, I watch QuackTube, I watch Netflix, I go play golf. And I was like, yeah, like, okay. But then in Seoul, you're like, what do you do? And you're going to all the culinary class war restaurants, all the Michelin stars. You're going to this new Noraebang. There's a new Mushinsa standard over there. You know, there's a fire festival going on. You got to go on the ferry, travel to Seongsu-dong, and go see the gentle monster Jenny pop up. There's like a huge dating scene in Hongdae, and Apgujeong Road has all these like cute girls, and you drink on the pochas and all. Like instant gratification, hyper stimulation, continuous pleasure, and all these, you know, dopamine. So like it was very, very drastically different. And I'm not saying, like, I'm not trying to disregard, like, downgrade Texas lifestyle or whatever, or like the US countryside. I actually felt maybe, you know what, like if I had a family, if I had like a wife and a child, I would choose the Texas life over Korea, and it would be a landslide. If I just had a few people I cared about, and if I could live a quiet, peaceful life, cook together, you know, clean together, go out on, I don't know, like picnics, sometimes go to the mall, like sometimes go to places. Some people might say it's boring, but to me it felt very peaceful and calm, because maybe I was so worn out by this huge mega city kind of environment. Like you're always stuck in the, you know, subway, like doing like this, and you always have to be careful of sexual harassment, you know, all that kind of stuff. It's just gets on your mind, and you're always comparing. Like whenever you meet your friends, all they're talking about is like, oh, what car did you get? I got a BMW X whatever. And then, oh, why didn't you get like a S class or whatever? And what stocks, S&P 500 are you investing in right now? Tesla's at that, blah blah blah. I went to this company and I got, my salary went up like this. I heard that person became like a lawyer and doctor, and he opened his hospital over there, and they're living in Pampo Remian or one Bailier. It just like really gets into your mind. And I was like, oh, you know what, I just want to go to a cottage, fish, read, watch some YouTube for entertainment, grill some steak in my backyard, have a golden retriever, have a cute kid, and teach her the ABCs or hunger, go to church with her, and yeah, maybe even have like a little garden. And yes, it's like so different. But then like the convenience the city provides, that is the real trap, and that's what everyone's addicted to. And that's like, in this economy, the cost efficiency of the distribution chains and the retail chains and whatever that provides, once you become a city person, you always have that thought in the back of your mind, but it's just very hard to take that step. And actually, you're just so trapped and addicted into this like city mindset, you can't really get out of it, right? So, yeah. Are all the young people in Seoul? Yes, basically. Basically. Do you think they're going to be able to fix things? I watched a documentary, said the government is trying to build another city like Seoul, but it's not working. They tried before. They tried with Sejong City. The plan was to move all the administrative offices like the Blue House from the National Tax Office, or all the courts, the Supreme Courts or whatever, all of those things, all to Sejong City, which is like a 2 hour near Daejeon. They wanted to do that. They actually tried, and they actually relocated some administrative chunks of the government. And there is like a decent population living there, but there's nothing there other than that. And there's no perks to live there. So the people living there are basically just living there because they're either government officials or they have no choice but to live there. But I heard the quality of life is good because like they got all the infrastructure. It's like, quiet and safe, and there's no crime. It's slow compared to Seoul and all that. So, yeah, but fundamentally, they have failed. Yes. People are still talking about, yes, the Hawk Twa girl. Yeah, apparently her podcast is like the biggest right now, and she's got like an exclusive deal by Kick, and it's like huge. Comparison is the thief of joy. Please don't fall into that trap. Well, from what I understand, Singapore has a similar environment. Maybe not to the extent of Korea, but at least for education and competition and living and all that, I've heard like Singapore has a very similar thing. It's cheap now to live in Busan. Correction. Yes, but then what are people gonna do in Busan though? You gotta have jobs, right? South Korean government needs to offer tax credits to move big companies to other cities. That's what I think too. Yeah. But then, so what the current president was trying to do was he was trying to move all the financial organizations to Busan. He wanted to. I think it's still in implementation, but his plan is to move like the global finance hub and all the big banks and all that to Busan and make it the global finance hub, and then interconnect between Seoul and Busan so that there could be like a sprinkle down effect, and then but the guinea pig was like the national whatever kind of financial association, one of the big ones. And he tried to do that, but he faced so much protest from the current employees in that organization. They all said we are going to quit our jobs, and that would paralyze the organization. They were boycotting, they were protesting towards the president, and we're like, we're not going to do that. And to the amount of like training to get the level of those employees, you can't do that over a night. You can't just fire them. Okay, you can go. You're replaceable anyways. These people aren't replaceable, so the government had no choice, and they fold. I think they folded. Yeah. And similar to the new jeans situation, right? We're like we can't do that. We're gonna stop all activities. No way we're going to Busan just because the government's initiative is like that. So there's so much entangled. MZ gens are obsessed with social media. It's actually worrying. It is. That's how we live in Australia. Take it easy. Yeah, that's what I felt in Australia too. Wow, when I was in where was it? Melbourne. It was really good over there. Yeah, it was really easy going. Yeah, Sydney seemed a little bit hectic, but still compared to Seoul, it was like amazing. But there were a lot of Chinese people there too. Yeah. It's like saying everyone wants to live in NYC. No thanks. Yeah, pretty much similar. But I would say that it's way safer and cleaner than NYC. Yeah. Sounds perfect. Yeah, the Texas life, right? Golden retrievers, yes. That's a simple fix. Stop caring about other people and their opinions about you. Well, I know, like, it's like that. It's a change of mindset, but as a human being, if you live in Seoul or live in a society where everyone other than you thinks like that unilaterally, and you're the black swan, you're the one that doesn't give an F, and you're like, oh, I'm special. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't do social media. I don't compare. I don't compete. I'm gonna do whatever I want. First of all, it takes a lot of courage to do that, but you become the odd one out. People don't socialize with you because they think you're weird or you're a loser or whatever. So it's just very hard. It's easier said than done, honestly. Yeah. Nova, thank you. Hey David, €2 for your future garden in Texas. Thank you. Yeah. David, you do very well in the USA with your hardworking ethics and values. That's what I heard a lot from all these LA entrepreneurs, the Korean Americans. I met a lot of them, including like some city mayors and like higher officials in the Korea Trade Association or whatever. And they all said if any Korean just moves to LA or just the States in general or like to a city, choosing the risk and carry the same worth ethics and the same motivation, they would have a huge chance of succeeding in the US. And the people were saying they frankly don't understand why Koreans are fighting amongst themselves in that small little pie where there's not even a lot of money and opportunity. If you come to the US, the zeros are like at least 2 zeros more than what you would earn in Korea. But like I guess it's about like security and like a lot of Korean Americans also say that even though they've been they've established themselves in the society, even after living 30, 20, 40 years, they still feel like an outsider. They don't fully feel accepted by the society. They're like, there's always going to be some, it's not racism, but there's also always going to be like a barrier between like white people, Asians, Hispanics, and black people and whatsoever, and they can't truly intermingle with the society. And I guess maybe that's on their side. A lot of international folks say Asians, why do they only flock by themselves? They don't want to like socialize. Maybe it's vice versa, but from what I've heard from a lot of Korean Americans, even the successful ones that have been established there for more than decades, they all say in common that they truly don't feel accepted by society 100%. Yeah. So, and that's why a lot of people that don't have like the guts or the threshold to actually go through that ostracized feel, not ostracized but like not accepted feeling as the mainstream in society, they choose like the stability and the security in being in Korea with a homogenous society, right? So I understand that. At the end, you're like a immigrant and you're in a foreign land where the culture is different, the language is different, the etiquette and everything's different. So, Katie, hello and bye. Gotta bounce, hoodie gang. Okay. Yeah. Turtle power. Have you thought about moving to Australia? If only I have actual agenda or like also money too. Yeah. I'm new here. Can someone tell me how to join the KPC membership? Is there a link I'm overlooking? Probably if you go to the YouTube screen you're looking at, there will be join membership button next to the subscribe button. From what I know. Yes. Probably. Yeah. I think that's how it works. It's next to the subscribe button, I think. Oh, and oh, did I not receive PayPal's because I was on disturbance mode? Nope. Oh, I did. Okay. Oh, Katie, thank you. I'm sorry I couldn't shout out you earlier because I was on like non-disturbance mode. Thank you for some breakfast or lunch. Well, it's 2:45 a.m. over here, so it's definitely not going to be breakfast or lunch. Maybe soon, but thank you for the 20 pizza. For example, it's 100 times harder for Asian Americans to make it in the American entertainment industry. Yeah, that's what Eric Nam was saying before, and that's why he chose to kickstart his career in Korea first from that podcast I was telling you about last time. Your job is practically virtual. You can move. I think so. Yeah, I think at my state right now, I think I can move. Yeah, because I'm doing like remote work. If I do solo podcasts and live streams, I can do that, but the catch is it's unstable, and also the living cost would be 2x in the states, and my earnings would be the same, and I'm barely sustaining myself here. Of course, there's rent and all, but yeah, like I think I wouldn't be able to like survive or live affluently in like another country. But if I go to Southeast Asia, it would be very, very nice. Because I know a lot of people who are just moving to Thailand nowadays or Vietnam because the living costs are there are cheap. But if they have the option of being remote workers, it's actually like optics wise, you're getting 1.5x of your the same salary because the living costs there are cheaper. And I've seen so many videos and vlogs about people moving to Bangkok and getting me in these like nice rooftop condos right in front of like the Bangkok downtown place with like pools and stuff, and it's like only $400 per month, something like that. They have like a whole fitness center and community center, and yeah, it looks crazy good. So maybe I want to do that. Maybe. Yeah. Like I just have a lot of physically tied things over here because I have a partnership with Jin with Piroso as well. I have the studio. I normally invite guests, and I normally get jobs like lecturing jobs or freelance gigs in Seoul and all that. So yeah, it would be a big risk for me to relocate myself, but hypothetically I could do it and barely survive. And of course, there will be new opportunities over there, but taking that leap and step is honestly a very frightening one. Yeah. I have never visited Hawaii, yes. I turned down a job opportunity in Singapore. I would like to go to Singapore because I have had some experience there, but I would have to live in like a, what do you call it, HDB? Yeah, it's one of those like governmental family houses and stuff. I have no problem living there, but you usually share it with the family or another person, and you get like assigned a room, and you can share the living space and kitchen and whatsoever. But yeah, I have no problem living in that kind of space. But at my age, I would like a little bit of a private, isolated space to myself. You heard Vietnam isn't too bad either. Yeah. Actually, I'll tell you the story afterwards. But a good young of mine, he's expanding his business to Vietnam right now, and Vietnam's economy is booming. So he thinks the next place for Korean entrepreneurs will be Vietnam, and he's taking a big leap over there. I really admire his entrepreneurship, and I want to learn from him. So I'm just like indirectly listening to his activities and such. Yeah. Trust me, Koreans are better off living in Korea. Cultures and food, healthcare cost alone. Yeah, that's what they all say. And Koreans, whenever they travel, like Koreans are crazy obsessed with traveling. I don't know why, but maybe because essentially this country is an island after all. It's a peninsula, but up there we have North Korea. We can't go anywhere, so it's an island, and it's small. So I guess that's why maybe psychologically we're obsessed with traveling, or we're obsessed with social media, and we just want to post the Eiffel Tower or Hollywood sign on Instagram. Whatever the reason is, we're obsessed with traveling. But the thing is, without an exception, without a single exception, I've heard every single Korean, every single one, coming back to Incheon Airport with me, or like coming back from a long trip and I hang out with them, everyone says, 아, 그래도 한국이 제일 좋다. 그래도 한국, 뭐 미국이니 뭐 유럽이니 호주니 뭐 다 좋다 좋다 하지만 딱 일주일만 지내보니까 한국이 제일 안전하고 제일 깨끗하고 건강 챙기기 좋고. And that's basically saying, like, despite all of the other perks and all the other countries, their wonders and natures and, you know, the culture, food, blah 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 blah, at the end, Korea is the best place to live. And with the healthcare, with the cleanliness, with the safety, with your own ethnic roots, like everything, like convenience, living costs. Yeah, so maybe that just applies to Koreans themselves, but I've even heard some foreigners say that too. So nowadays, Korea, especially Seoul, is like rising as a hot place among like international people as well to relocate. Yeah. Your voice is so deep in Korean. I don't understand why everybody says this, because I feel like my voice is always the same. 제 목소리가 한국어로 하면은 변한다고 생각하시는 분은 손 들어주세요. 이거를 알아들으시는 분이 있으면 놀라겠지만 제 생각에는 분명히 목소리는 똑같다고 생각을 하거든요. 그래서 여기서 영어로 살짝만 바꾸면, if I switched into English right that, I don't see like a difference in tone. Maybe it's the intonation that makes my voice a little bit one like octave above, but I don't see any difference. Canada is the best, trust me. Well, I actually have a friend that is living in Canada right now, and he does say, in particular for Vancouver, he says like it's a very multicultural hub, and he doesn't feel like an outsider. And if he goes to downtown, there's more Chinese people than the actual native, not native, but like, you know what I'm saying, like Canadians. And there's like more Chinese, Indian people, and a lot of Koreans there. So he doesn't feel out of place. And my friend, he's one of my best friends, but he's gay, and he went there to get like legally married with his partner, and he's living a good life over there as an IT engineer. And yeah, he seems to have a nice life, but he always goes to like hikes and like sends us pictures of like the nature and all. It looks very peaceful. And Canada doesn't have any like geopolitical threats either. So you can go to the US always. So Canada might seem good. I have a fond memory of Canada, even though I was super young back then. Like, I never had any kind of like scary encounter when I was in Canada. When I just recall like the little fragmented memories of when I lived in Ottawa. Of course, it's going to be pretty stale over there, is because it's Ottawa, you know. But yeah, I've been to like other places too. I think I've been to Quebec. I think I've been to like Nova Scotia, places like that. And it seemed good. You sound the same. Yeah, I think it's the difference between pronouncing Korean and English, maybe. People's voices often adapt unconsciously when they speak different languages. This phenomenon is known as language accommodation. Wow, interesting. Korea is their home. If you move countries, would you want to marry a Korean girl first or marry a foreigner? I don't think I would have a preference at all, honestly. Like, I honestly believe that love has no boundaries, as the producer of Ramen and Cho. But I think if the person is the one, then that's the person I'm going to marry. Whether she's Haitian or Indian or Venezuelan or Latina or American or whatever. Yeah. Asian, Chinese, Japanese, whatever. Like if she's just the right one, then that's what she is. I don't have any preference over any kind of ethnicity, honestly. Yeah, because in the past I've met a lot of like multinational people as well, and for some people from international people, they some of them even gave me better experiences than Korean girls. And to be honest, I don't really have like super great experiences with Korean girls, so maybe I'm a little bit more leaning towards international marriage nowadays. So actually, I was looking through some content on YouTube, and I noticed that there's a lot of sogeting content on YouTube nowadays, and it's not even like sogeting content. It's like celebrities that are in their mid 30s or late 30s that haven't gotten married yet, and it's called 장가가기 project or 시집가기 project. And it's basically like finding the one to get married as a form of content. And I thought that was pretty interesting. I got hooked. So one representative would be there's this girl called Yewon on Takjaehoon's channel, and she's very pretty. She was controversial in the past because of some incident, but now she's rebounded, and she's like I think in her late or mid 30s, and they have a dedicated show on her doing sogetings with a lot of like other males, and they're trying to find her like partner for life. And I find it very entertaining, and not just for her, but for a lot of other YouTubers or Kadogaden or whatever. A lot of people are doing that nowadays. And I was like, maybe I should do that for myself on KPC. It could be content too. Like, I would be like, here's a survey form if you want to appear on my channel and actually have a date with me. And if you're fine to record that and make it a series, like finding David's, future partner. And then we could go on a date in Seoul. I could curate all of that. And I obviously would monetize off of it. But 겸사겸사, if we actually click, you never know what happens, right? So, yeah. David doesn't discriminate, but they must be a flight attendant. Spot on. So, Emirates or Etihad or Air Canada or Scoot or Cathay Pacific, Korean Air, Delta. And you know what? I still have to edit that vlog, but that flight attendant from Spirit was pretty hot. Yeah, the Spirit flight attendant was pretty hot. Yeah. Love has no boundaries. My man and I didn't even speak the same language when we met. Wow, good for you. You really overcame that. You know? Love is not the problem. The couple must be able to deal and respect with cultural differences. That's also true too, because like marriage is also there's a saying called 결혼은 현실이다. It means marriage is reality. And I've seen so many like breakings or conflicts because of clashing of culture. Like in particular in the Korean side, it's very hard to deal with the in-laws and meet their expectations. You basically need an approval process of the in-laws, and there's a certain code that you need to like act with, and if you can't overcome that, and if that's like a deciding factor or a huge red flag on one side, then it's really just hard, right? Chandra late night meal and it's pronounced Chandra. Oh, okay. Sorry. Sorry. Chandra, thank you for the 30 pizza. Thank you so much. Chandra. Thank you. I only called it Chandra because I watched this documentary when I was in high school. It was about like a Nepalese person that had a name called Chandra Kumari Kurung. And I don't really know what the documentary was about, but that name just stuck with me, and that's why I pronounce it Chandra. I think it was a pretty famous documentary. Yeah. And Chandra also, wow, thank you for purchasing on Pirozo as well. Thank you so much. And if you give me 1 minute of your time, speaking of Pirozo, yes, let's go to pirozo.net, everybody. It's the best Korean authentic product site you can access on the internet right now. We have unique, distinct products you can't find anywhere on Amazon. We have hanbok plates, 나전칠기 hologram diaries, newbie bags. The day before we sent out all our orders for the newbie bags. I think it was in the, I don't know, 70s or 80s, you know, that many purchases. We have the Jungkook bucket hats, the Korea Army t-shirts, the BTS worn bracelets, the Pirozo t-shirts, which are very popular right now, the MBTI t-shirts, which are very surprisingly popular. And we have new products that are in, especially spotlighting this one. It's the Korea Celadon mousepad mat. So if you need a mousepad for yourself, if you want a Korean traditional pattern looking mousepad that boosts your computer working space, yeah, check it out. And we have another keyring over here. It's the Hunminjeong keyring. So it was Hangul Day. No, it's Hangul Day in a few days. I sent out a newsletter about Hangul Day, but if you want this keyring, oops, there's a lag right now, but you can get that. We have the Korea Celadon peony table mat. This is cute too. So if you want that to your kitchen or your table, go check it out. And we have rings, jage rings, and echo bags with like Korean traditional patterns and all that. I wrote this blog about culinary cooking class wars. So go check that out. I wrote this blog about Hangul Day as well. So go check that out as well. We have so many brands working with us. And to naturally integrate the sponsor of this live stream, we have Sue House's Korean for All series beginner kit. So this is an actual like starter kit for people who want to learn Korean, and they have very cute little graphics inside. It's perfect for beginners who are trying to learn Korean. Very cute animations and practices, all that. You get playing cards and a practice notebook, which is inspired by Korean traditional textbooks as well. They're tied like this in knots, in strings. That's how usually Korean scholars used to write with their brushes and stuff in the old days. So a lot of detail over here. So you can get that. Very nice. You can gift it as well. And yeah, go check out Pirozo. If you use the coupon code KPC, you can get a 10% discount. If you use the coupon code Hangul, HANGUL, you can get the 8% coupon code for those of you who have already used the KPC coupon code. So that's that. And as you can see on the bottom left, or is it right for you guys? Bottom left of the live stream, introducing you the sponsor of this video. Very, very thankful for being our sponsor. There you go. Where is it? There you go. It's Sue House. Sue House over here. Yes, we have Sue House over here. And what Sue House is I'll show you the Instagram page right now. So if you want to make friends and connect, free events in Korea, learn Korean together, open group meetups. If you want to join the fun in Korea or virtually in your own place, if you want to hang out with Korean people and talk to them within the app, practice your Korean, just make Korean friends for your trip, go check out Sue House because they have so many events going on. They introduce you to like these good savory foods, the markets and all that. They're doing like a giveaway event for the Dream concert. The lineup is crazy over here. High Key, Kiss of Life, NCT Wish, Extraordinary Heroes, Yena, Eunice, Zodiac, Lightsum, One Pack, Tiot, CIX, EPEX 5050, oh, Wanna's, Tempest, Kangseong, JD1, 8 Turn, Kwonunbi, whoa, Ituk, okay. And it goes on and on. Dreamcatcher, Ascent, Drippin, Trend Z, K-pop dance class, dessert making class, go check out Sue House. They have like organized trips together. They went to Daegu all together, and it's very foreigner friendly. It's mostly foreigners, so you won't feel like out or anything. You can also you know, what do you call it? Socialize and become friends with native Koreans over here. There's Suwon City tours, free beer and Hongdae events, all that kind of stuff. So go check out Sue House. All you have to do is type it in on Google Play or Apple's App Store and type in Sue House, install it, and then you'll see the app open like this. It's just very intuitive. Yeah, so you can scroll through the app. You'll know what to do. There has a little, they have even a little Tinder function over there. So you can host meetups. You can participate in group meetups, Korean travel experiences, all that kind of stuff, useful information, Korean practice. So install Sue House, go check it out. Write reviews if you can, 5-star reviews. Tell them you came from KPC so that I can boast and brag about my influence to the client. That would help a lot. If there's a survey, do that please. And wow, Jessica, thank you for purchasing on Piroso as well. Thank you so much. Yes. Okay, great. So, oh no. So I think it's past time to actually get that ice cream yogurt. So I'm not gonna actually order it. I'm just gonna be satisfied with my choco pies. I'll just eat one more choco pie and yeah. But yeah. Digging the mouse pad, not gonna lie, nice. I like the mat, it looks nice. Okay, go check it out. Go check it out. I recommend the umbrellas with the beautiful palace image patterns. They are so lovely, great. Off topic, but it was really cool to see Jenny and all the other YG artists support 21 at their concert. Yeah, I saw that too. And I saw New Jeans went too. That was random, but that was great. Because they're very young, and I doubt that they actually grew up listening to 21. Yeah. Squid Game 2 is coming out in December. After Christmas, I think. Christmas. Like December 26th or 27th. Sometime then. Thank you, Duka Bias, for ordering on Piroso. Great, we'll send it to you. I want choco pie, but I also want pizza. Going for my 3rd choco pie. I'm getting really fat right now, but I'm doing it for you guys. Can't miss out with the mukbang aspect. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm just hungry. You should have Doobie Doobop as a guest. She's too big for my channel. I also emailed her once, but then I didn't get a reply, which I don't take any offense of, because that's like standard procedure for a lot of big YouTubers. They get like emails from so many YouTube collaboration proposals or clients or whatever, so you can't reply to every single one of them. But hopefully in the future. $3 a.m. choco pie. Fat and happy, yes. I actually hit the gym for the first time in a long time today. I just felt like my health was being threatened suddenly, because so today I actually met Anna in Gangnam Station, and we had Five Guys for lunch. Very greasy. And then afterwards I came home and my mom was craving pizza, so she just ordered Domino's without my consent. And then she was like, "This is dinner for you." So I was like, I had no choice, because I usually don't eat Western and Western at the for lunch and dinner consecutively. But then I had like a bacon cheeseburger with fries and a milkshake at lunch, and then I had to have a Domino's, like 3 slices of Domino's. And yeah, that was just as an Asian myself, I don't know if you guys can digest that, but it's just very like overwhelming for me. If you eat a hamburger for lunch and pizza for dinner, that's like a calorie bomb, and I feel like my body's going to explode. So Yeah, like I was delaying my gym sessions because, I just had too much work nowadays. But I was like, oh, after these two meals today, I can't delay it anymore. And then I just had to hit the gym. Unfortunately, because it was Sunday, I got kicked out at 8 p.m. I did not know it ends at 8 p.m. So I only got like 1.5 hour of workout. I usually do 2 hours. Like my routine is this is how I learned from my personal trainer. Do 10 minutes of treadmill, like incline, um, like heat warm up, and then go to like lifting and like do the machines and like allocate a specific part of your body. For my case today, it was like mostly shoulders and front chest. So I did all of those like things for an like 50 minutes. You do that for 50 minutes, so that becomes 60 minutes, and then for another extra hour, do like what do you call it? Just fast walking for maybe 30 minutes, not nothing anything too intense. And if you have extra time, try to do like the staircase thing or just run. Or and if you have extra like 10 minutes, go to like the Pilates or whatever room, and then get the foam rollers and like you know relieve your muscles and stuff. So that's usually a full 2 hour gym workout session. But then it was a half an hour, one and a half hour today. So I didn't really get to like the running part. So you have to do cardio. Of course, like building muscle mass makes your metabolism go up, and you need to like get more calories and like protein and all that. But the most effective way to actually burn fat, especially in particular parts of your body, is just like cardio. So yeah, I was looking forward to that today, but unfortunately I got kicked out. So here I am at 3 a.m. again, munching on these choco pies, which is not helping. These are probably worth like 150 calories each. That's how you work out: 10 minutes warm up on the treadmill, 1 hour free weights, then 45-minute cardio. Yeah, exactly. That's what my personal trainer suggested to me as well. Five Guys sits like lead in my stomach, so I don't eat it anymore. What? Catpy, David, although you don't know most of us toppings, please know how much you are loved. Hope you fall out of your depression very soon. Oh yeah, about that. Okay, this is gonna get a little dark. An hour is better than nothing, though. Yes. Actually, so right after the gym, I was just intending to come to the studio and get a quick shower and then just start working, because I actually slacked off on a lot of work over the weekend because I was kind of depressed and I was feeling like not good. So I was just like, F it. But I went home because I just suddenly wanted to see my doggos and I wanted to take a walk with them. I did that, washed them, washed myself, sat down on my bed to like dry my hair from the fan. I was just scrolling through some webtoons and watching the recent episode of One Piece, and I fell asleep. So I had to come to the studio. I was planning to come to the studio by like 9 at least, after doing a quick walk with my dogs, but then I slept until midnight. But it was one of the best sleeps I've ever had in the past few weeks. It was like a short 3 hour sleep, but maybe because I did a workout and then I was kind of exhausted. My body's kind of aching, and my legs are kind of aching too. I just stayed there naked, and I didn't even have a blanket on or anything. The fan was on, but I just fell asleep watching my phone. And then when I woke up, it was 12, and I was like, oh shit, I need to do a live stream soon. And then I was getting up, but I felt so like energized. So next time I'm thinking of doing late night gym sessions before I actually go to sleep. And the perfect condition would be if there was a 24-hour gym. There are a lot of 24-hour gyms in Korea, but weirdly enough, I think maybe it's the office area because it's an office district over here. They don't operate 24-hour gyms, but because of my working cycle, if they had 24-hour gyms, it would be the best if I just finished work, go to the gym at like 2 a.m., do like a 1.5 hour session, go straight to sleep, wake up at like 10 or 11, and that would be perfect for my body. But yeah, that's a little bit of a minus. The gym kicks you out. Yeah, they gotta close. They gotta close, right? They cut all the music, and they're like, our gym is about to close in 5 minutes. Please proceed to your locker rooms and get changed and get out. Get the F out. Oh, yeah. So, as I said, like, I'm not like clinically depressed or whatever. I'm not. Maybe maybe I am, maybe I don't know, but I just feel like as an Asian myself, I'm gaslighted by society and my parents that depression doesn't exist and depression is for the weak people. So just a mental flip or gymnastics, you can overcome it. Just kidding. But yeah, to some extent, like I am trained in that way. So I'm always like, if I feel depressed, I'm like, yeah, let's just get some sunlight outside. Let's just hit the gym. Let's try to ideate about like a business idea, whatever, and then I overcome it in general. But yeah, it just hits me time to time, and there are certain like catalyst points, of course, of why I feel depressed. And it's the usual stuff like laid it out multiple times on live streams, but I think the biggest catalyst might be funny. It might seem trivial and superficial to y'all, but there was a huge fireworks festival yesterday in Seoul. It's like the annual Hanwha Fireworks Festival. If you follow Korean content or influencers on Instagram, you would have probably seen your feed plastered with these gigantic, marvelous, gorgeous reels and videos of the fireworks festival. And the irony is, it's right in front of my house. Like it's like a 5 minute walk from my house. Literally, if I just go out and walk 5 minutes, it's the best spot to watch the fireworks festival because it's like a huge thing. Japan, the U.S., Korea participated this year, but it's like a huge thing. People reserve seats along the Han River for like 24 hours before. It's like a whole zombie apocalypse. Like I don't go there because I have trauma. When I was in the police during the military, my job was to like, do crowd control over there, and I almost died because of crowd crush in the midst of that. So there's literally nowhere to like step foot, and you can't even like barge or like move. You have to like squirm your way to the subway, and the subway takes forever to actually like get everyone on the train and get them home. So I never go after that. But yeah, so I wasn't really jealous of the people going there because I honestly don't feel any kind of value in seeing like, oh, it's $1,000 popping in the sky. It's like pretty shit. Maybe I'm like a emotionless person, but a robotic person. But when I see fireworks, it's like, it's pretty, but those fireworks could be really used in a better manner. It gives hope and happiness to the kids and laughter, but is it worth it? It's just pretty shit in the sky. Like fireworks are super expensive. Of course, especially the ones in that scale. There's tens and thousands of dollars just like exploding in the sky. I've heard the budget for yesterday's fireworks festival was 10억, which is 1,000만 won is 10,000. 1억 is 100,000. 10억 is 1 million. Yeah, $1 million, like $9 million, $900,000 or something like that. So that was a lot. and I just don't think it's useful. So I don't have any like FOMO on going to the fireworks festival or not. But the thing is, when the firework festival is in play, the whole city is in like a very, what do you call it? A very 설레는 mode. Like it's in a very like breezy and romantic and excited and energetic mode where families and couples and photographers and everyone from the countryside just flocks over to see those fireworks. And you see the night sky, and it is pretty. It is like red, like all that kind of stuff. And like everybody posted on their Instagrams, they're watching it on skyscrapers. Somewhat people are watching it in their apartments, on ferries and all that. And as a human being too, I like why whereas I don't want to actually watch the fireworks, it just gets into your mind like everybody else out there is just enjoying their life. They're actually having some luxury. They have time to spend with their friends and family, and they have partners in the first place. I don't have anyone next to me. Like, even if I have friends, they're all watching with their girlfriends. And yeah, my mom. I was just like tuning in with my mom and my grandma and my dogs at my house, and there's nothing wrong with that. I was just turning it on YouTube on the screen, and like I was saying, like, grandma, if you want to see, like, here it is. My grandma can't go outside because of the cold. Um, my mom wanted to go, but I was like reluctant. Like, people, you're gonna get stampeded on if you go there, so let's not go. But anyways, like this just the mood got into me, and then I was just working in the studio at the same time. It's my choice, I guess, but it's an involuntary choice in a sense, because I gotta hustle to make money and to actually feed myself and actually like prepare for my future and all that. I felt like a huge drastic difference between the people that are enjoying their lives outside with the autumn breeze and all the pizza and ramen at the Han River with the picnics, and looking at the glittering sky, and everyone's just posting on Instagram like kissing photos of couples or holding hands and like cute little photos with the fireworks background and all that. That just got into me, and I was like, is my life a failure right now? Like, why do other people have the luxury and time to do that, and they have beloved ones and partners and friends to go out, and they actually have the time to like go there and all that, but why am I on a constant hustle and alone in my studio working and always behind on due dates and have deliverables, and even so I'm not even making that much. So that really got into me, and then I kind of like stayed off of social media today because all I was seeing was like fireworks, fireworks, fireworks. So yeah, that just got into my mind. And then there was another factor. Like recently, I posted Seoul City, no, not Seoul City vibes, but a vlog on my DKDK channel. And I know the channel is pretty much, dormant and dead right now. I try to avoid that word, but because it hasn't been active, of course, I don't expect that many views. But I posted a vlog. It took a substantial amount of time to edit that. I posted it. It only got 1,000 views. And the a YouTuber's biggest feat and like biggest defeat and depression comes from like those view indicators. And I was just like, the fireworks thing was hitting me, and then the view thing was. I was like, oh, we have 800K and only 1,000 people care enough, or the algorithm is dead, or the channel is dead right now. And the thing is, maybe I'm not supposed to say this, but everybody knows it's a sponsored video, so that I can disclose. But the thing is, the client, because they have to report it to their client, the sub client has to report it to their client. They need like at least a guaranteed amount of views to like not be embarrassed. But 1,000 views is pretty embarrassing, and that actually hit my ego. So they allocate like marketing money for me to like put like Google ads on the video. So the allocated budget is $70. That's like 10만 won in Korean. It's like the equivalent of $100. So I get $70 for the marketing money. And I was thinking maybe this time I put a lot of effort into the vlog. I genuinely thought it was pretty entertaining content. So at least I thought I would get like 10K views at least, even if the channel was dead. So then if it hits more than 10K, I would think, it's okay to send to the client. So then I would be able to put that 70K like sneakily, like, reallocate it and use it as marketing money on KPC, and just change the title of the video as if I was doing marketing for that video. And yeah, use it for the growth of KPC. That was what I was scheming. I know it's bad, but that was what I was scheming. But the views were just so low, and it was just it was very demotivating because I put so much effort into it, because I did all these subtitles and all. That's what the client wanted. And yeah, that just hit me. So it was a two-hit combo. And then I was like, you know what, it's Sunday, I don't want to work, let's go to church. Because like I usually, like, sometimes I go to church, sometimes I don't, sometimes I do like online service. But today I physically felt like going to church because I just wanted to like reflect and get some meditation and hear some good words from the pastor today. So I went to church. I was late. I couldn't get into the main chapel hall, so I went into like one of those separate rooms, which are also huge because my church is like the biggest underground church by the Guinness record. So I went into those like secondary halls, and I watched the screen, a gigantic screen for the whole service. And after it, when I was exiting, apparently after the main service, there was like a youth service going on, and the band was preparing, and like a lot of youngsters, like people around my age, like late 20s to like 30s and such, they were all like swarming in to the hall. And they all looked so happy, and there were a lot of couples there too. There were a lot of pretty people too. And I don't go to small churches or those youth services voluntarily because maybe I'm an introvert and I just don't want any kind of like attachments or like, what do you call them, like responsibilities, because I've been to like big like small community churches before, and they actually ask a lot from you. Like, you have to go out for like, dinners and Bible studies with them. They actually contact you, check on you, and like send you Bible verses and blah, blah, blah. And you have to, maybe they ask you to participate in the choir or maybe some kind of activity, be a mentor for the younger people, blah, blah, blah. They ask a lot from you. And I honestly was like, I don't have time for that. Like, I just want to take care of myself. Like, I know the community aspect is very important in Christianity, but like honestly, like realistically I can't do that, and it's just very like overwhelming for me. But then a human being is just very like, flip-floppy. And when I was seeing the community today, and them doing like the service together and like singing together, all happy, I was just like reflecting on my life. Like, has my life gone wrong? Because like from the fireworks thing, like I don't have anybody to go with. I'm just like demolishing myself with work. Even if I'm doing that, the work isn't getting enough like views or results. And in my social life, or like my future, I guess, potential marriage life, or like whatever life, community life it is, that's non-existent too. And yeah, nowadays like it's like marriage season, so a lot of my friends are getting married. I actually got invited to a wedding to this week. This is a secret, but I didn't attend because I just didn't feel like. I didn't want. Yeah, I just didn't feel like it. You know how this is like a chain effect. So yeah, that kind of stream of thoughts just hit me, and it just got me into the like this very negative mode. And I was gaining weight and fat too because all the greasy food. I was stress eating. That's why I was like, at least let's go to the gym. That's why like I finally got up and went to the gym. So yeah, all these things piled up, and I think it's a temporary phase. It's gonna be okay. If I hit the gym tomorrow again, and then yeah, it should be fine. But there are ups and downs in my emotions too as a human being. And yeah, at least this live stream serves as a really nice therapeutic process and interaction with you guys. At least I have some people to talk with, real people to talk with. So yeah, I love doing live streams. I think live streams have become a favorite thing because of this aspect as well. Because I'm lonely and I'm sometimes depressed and I crave for some kind of human interaction, but I don't want too like confined, any kind of confinement or like a yeah. So, anyways, I'm rambling at this point, but that was my thought process, and that's why I was a little bit depressed over the week. I'm sure I'm gonna be fine, but yeah. So there it is. I'm sorry if you got like depressed over my confession, but yeah. Carve out time to socialize more each day. It's just very hard to actually think like that, you know. We call this the grumpy old man syndrome. Sometimes, really. You need to allow yourself to do more fun things. The thing is, like, I do think I allow myself to do those kind of stuff like watching movies or Netflix or anime, but those are all like solo activities. So nowadays, I feel like I'm craving human interaction, but then I don't have the time and energy to actually do that. Fireworks are enjoyed more when you see it by chance while passing by from afar. Yeah. It's all a facade. They're not as happy as you think. Of course, but at least they look as happy. Yeah. They get the chance to be happy, maybe. Welcome, Cyberpunk. Welcome, welcome. Hope you can tune in more regular. It's probably all fake. How good are their relationships really in real life? Yeah. Yeah. Welcome to the real world. Thank you for the hugs. Why didn't you post it on KPC? Because, ironically, however I try to persuade the sub-client that KPC is a more active channel and it's going to get more retentions and views on this channel despite it being 50K, government or like client organizations prefer channels that have bigger subscribers because it gets more clout in like reporting, in administrative procedures. Yeah. Which vlog is this again? It's the one I went to Yeosu. Yeah, if you check it out on DKDKTV, you should see it. It's this one over here. It's the workation vlog. I put in some cheesy narrations and like put Korean and English subtitles at the same time. And yeah, it's pretty. I think it was a pretty good vlog. You know, we took the whole train. Yeah, I even highlighted myself actually. Oh, excellence! I'm not seeing excellence today in the chat, but like myself doing work, traveling to Yosu, like getting the view, showing you the hotel over here. Yeah, it was a nice capsule hotel, and we had some like nice food over here, and there was a workation center, and showing you some work, and we went to like an aquarium. I saw like a beluga whale, which was fascinating. That was amazing. Yeah. And we went to the temple where RM visited, and I took like the same picture. I posted this on Instagram if you haven't noticed. So yeah, like this, it's the same picture RM took. Isn't it like copy paste? I did a pretty good job, right? And then I entered the temple and all that. This temple was really, really nice. I actually felt some kind of healing feeling when I was there. The serenity and the quiet vibes and the nature surrounding it. Yeah, it was just amazing. So we had some chicken. I went with Hangwoo together, and we went to the Yeosu Night Sea, and Yeah, 야수 밤바다. I think you know that song. That's me in the morning. Yeah. And we went to the Izunshin Plaza as well. And that's the turtle ship, the famous turtle ship Izunshin used to annihilate the Japanese Navy invasion. And then, yeah. So go check this vlog out. It's interesting. Yeah. But I will have to put the ads on the vlog anyways. Thank you, Renato. Thank you. When you want a red car, all you see are red cars. Be more mindful about what you focus on. I guess. The name of the church is called Sarang Church. 사랑의 교회. It has a Guinness World Record for being the biggest underground church. It's pretty massive, honestly. David, if you wanted to go out and date, you could. Your work is important to you and you're doing a good job. I still wanted you to take time and write your priorities down. Yeah, thank you. I realize that too. But right now, I have very low self-esteem. Maybe this is a Korean mindset too, but right now I've been talking with Sangwoo a lot because Sangwoo is lonely too. We kind of like, it almost feels very, don't get me wrong, it almost feels sometimes actually like a bromance or gay thing, but the only person I'm casually texting right now is maybe Sangwoo because like we relate that we're very like lonely and we're very worried about our futures, what's going to happen now, and we're like, oh, maybe we should go on a trip, maybe we should go to some pubs and like, you know, try to approach girls or whatever. And but then we always circle back to like, oh, right now I'm just like all weary and ruined and like I'm not in my best condition, I've gained weight and you know, all that kind of stuff. So that always blocks us. And then there's also work. So even if I get into a relationship, will I have time to commit? Would that be a priority? I'll be spending even more and all those thoughts. So yeah, I think you should go on a date, but with who? Thank you, Kel, for watching. Yeah, thank you, everybody. Yeah. David, were you happier doing DKDK with Danny? It had its phase pros and cons. Every stage of life has its pros and cons. Yeah. Right now, even if I'm not making as much as I made with DKDKTV, I firmly believe that I'm getting there. Like, I'm slowly gaining more Patreons. I'm putting more work into the YouTube channel. A YouTube channel is like, I guess, a plant. So you give content, you water it, you invest time into it, and it slowly fruits. So I guess like I'm believing in the process. I'm not trying to be very anxious, even though I am pretty anxious because of my age and like you see instant successes. But I believe I know what I have the capabilities of reproducing that success from DKDK TV again. So I'm doing that all by myself, and then I'm not splitting any money, so that's also good. And I'm getting more branded deals here and there, so that's also good too. But then I have to also pay the expenses all by myself, so I guess it's like a give and take. So there are pros and cons. When I was working with Danny, we could split the responsibility and labor as well, but now I'm doing all the editing by myself. So yeah, like I can't really quantify it, but I will just say there's pros and cons. Yeah, some things are good, some things are bad, you know. Thank you, Sarah, for the big hug. Have you ever listened to Abraham Hicks' Law of Attraction on YouTube? I'll check it out. Belugas are cute. Everyone goes through questioning their life and choices. You have to find the little things that make you happy. Yeah. Nowadays, the little thing that makes me happy would be tennis, but I didn't even have time to play tennis recently. Yeah. You should have given us a heads up on the Yosef vlog. It's not that, like, honestly though, like, I'm not trying to like say you guys are not important or anything. Of course I appreciate all of your support. But even if everybody on this live, like every single 260 some of you, watch the vlog together, it would only garner 260 something views, right? So that's, I guess, to some extent something. But then, like, what the client wants is like a 10K point of view. So, like, I have to think in a macro scale. And of course, I could do whatever I can in my power to boost those views. But at the end, the result, the logical explanation to that is the channel is not active anymore. It's not generating as much as views. Thus, I need to fix that, but it's very hard to fix it. So, all that kind of stuff, right? You understand. Trauma bond with Sangwoo, yes, exactly. Yosu is on the top of my list of cities to visit in Korea when I have enough money to travel to SK. I wouldn't recommend it as a top city, honestly. To be very honest, I wouldn't really recommend Yosu that much because there's limited stuff you can do there. Yeah. If I had limited time in Korea, it would definitely be Seoul, Busan, Jeju. If you have more time, Gyeongju, and maybe Jeonju. Yeah, Jeonju. Gyeongju, Jeonju. If you have a little bit more time, maybe Gangwon-do, Gangwon province. But Yeosu wouldn't be like my top pick, honestly. But if you like unpopular places or unique places, Yeosu could be good too. Yeah. You're moving to Korea next year. Do you think 30,000 in a part-time barista job would be enough to live in Seoul? So 30,000 is, I'm assuming, your salary, right? So that would be in USD. That would be in Korean won. That would be 1,300원 하면은 4,300만 원 plus a barista. With the 30,000 itself, you can already have a pretty good life. I would say it depends on where you want to live and the lifestyle you have, but from an average normal Korean person's point of view, I would say that a lot of just ordinary Korean people live off of 30,000, like even less than 30,000. So that means you're earning like 300, approximately like 3,000 or 2,500 per month, somewhere in that range. And you can live comfortably with that already. But if you have an extra barista job, you can definitely add like your other luxuries or hobbies on top of that. So yeah, you'll be fine. You'll totally be fine with that. You seem like a genuine guy, David, but if you get into a relationship right now with low self-esteem, your self-worth will always depend on the other person, and that's too much power to give someone else. Yeah, maybe. As a people pleaser too, I don't want to get into that dynamic again. Go to Yangyang Beach and pick up girls. Nowadays, what you say, like, Koreans have a very toxic trait. Koreans have a very toxic trait. There's a word called 거른다. 거른다 means filter out or weed out or block or like not get associated with. So we have Korean, the younger generation especially, we overuse that word too much. It's like 뭐뭐 하면 거른다. Like if you do something, 거른다. If you do this, 거른다. It's like maybe the equivalent would be red flag, but like more in an action kind of term. It's like I'm not gonna even associate with that kind of person if he has that trait. And the funny thing is, because Yangyang has become so commercialized and advertised as like a wild party area where everyone goes to have sex and threesomes and like one nights and all that shit, even though the reality is nobody actually gets laid because there's like no accommodations over there. I don't know, maybe wild stuff goes on in the beach in the wild, but like it's been painted in that way for the past few years. The Yangyang city is actually having a problem with the image because people are saying if you've been to Yangyang, 거른다, like you're out. Like don't mess with girls that have been to Yangyang. And of course, the society being a toxic society and like a patriarchal society and like misogynistic society, people are only going to put those standards on girls. And if girls post on their Instagram or story or word spreads out that they've been to Yangyang, they immediately become like the S word, the slutty image. And like people nowadays are saying like, oh, Yangyang, if you've ever been to Yangyang, if a girl says that she's been to Yangyang, kollo, like don't mess with her, don't associate with her because she's probably like a slut or whatever. And yeah, that's becoming a problem for Yangyang City because they've never really wanted that image. It's become hot among the youth, but yeah, it's becoming a problem. From what I've heard is that indeed a lot of hot people go there to surf and they're in bikinis, and there's a place called Surfy Beach, and there's also called a place called Muscle Beach or whatever, and all these like, you know, health trainers, fitness trainers, and all these models, they go there to show off their like, you know, abs and triceps, biceps, all that physique. And it has an image that these like healthy young people are all gonna hook up at night because they're right in front of the beach. They're like massive pubs and like clubs and all that, pool parties. Everyone's in bikinis and stuff, and it seems like everybody's gonna hook up and have like orgies or whatever. That's what the image is. I'm not exaggerating. Um, so what we call is like what we say is like 양양 가서 앙앙 한다. That's like a catchphrase. It's like you go to Yangyang and you hear the sound. You make the sound ang ang. That's like ang 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 ang. You know what I'm saying, right? So it's like a wordplay, onomatopoeia there. It's like Yangyang 가서 앙앙 한다. But yeah, that image has tarnished the local area over there, and the city mayor even came out and said like it's not such like a Las Vegas satanic sex den kind of place over here. It's like a, you know, healthy place where young people just want to gather and like de-stress for a while. Yeah, he doesn't understand why it's become like that. But yeah, that's how it is. And because of that image too, I would be very cautious of going there myself and posting it on his. It would be a secret trip, even if I went with Samu. And even if I went, it's not even about self-esteem. It's about objectiveness. I would not stand a chance in Yangyang. Like Yangyang guys are like ripped. They're like Superman. They're like multiple Henry Cavills there. Yeah. So I would not stand a single second in Yangyang. Yeah, but that was a fun point to bring up. Thank you, Travis. Yeah, but I was actually discussing with Sangwoo right before this live stream. He just hit me up. See, I told you we have like a bromance gay kind of thing going on. He was like, "Oh, David Neem, do you want to go on a trip on December or somewhere, maybe to like, you know, Thailand or Vietnam or whatever?" And there's also, okay, about the term 거른다, filter out. There's also a term for boys from the girl side. Like if your boyfriend or a guy went on a bro trip to Southeast Asia, 걸러. Like weed them out because they probably did prostitution. They probably like did dirty stuff with like the locals over there and got STDs or whatever, and they're probably, yeah, you know, all that kind of stuff. So 걸러. There's a lot of 거르다 things in Korea. It's like if a girl went to like Australia and did a working holiday, she probably got, you know, effed by all these white guys that have Asian fevers and think Korean girls are easy, and because it's like liberal over there and they don't have any connections, they don't have any like nunchi to like see, like they're just going all wild and having sex with all these guys, and yeah, these kind of things, you know. So there's so many toxic things people say about like certain locations or activities. Yeah. Um. Oh, 30K in savings? Yeah, you last a year, I think. Last a year or two. 워홀녀 거른다, 양양 거른다. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Oh, you sent me a PayPal. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Sorry. Wow, Corina! Thank you so much. Wish you happiness. Pizza for the 50! Boom, boom, boom! Okay, great. Thank you so much, Corina. I like your name. Corina. Cynthia, thank you. Hi, David. Have you ever listened to Abraham Hicks' Law of Attraction on YouTube? Okay, that was the same comment. Thank you, Cynthia, for the 20. Pizza. I will check that out. Yeah. Double down on it now because you sent a PayPal. Thank you so much. I'll check that out before I sleep today. And we've got some Piroso purchases. Wow, a lot of Piroso purchases. Thank you to shout out to Wendy and Mirel. Well, for buying the Korean series. Yes, great. I hope it really becomes a like a helpful experience to you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Cyberpunk, for buying the Piroso products. Thank you so much. Kind of like Muscle Beach in California. Yeah. I would love to have you as my son-in-law, but my daughters are only turning 19 and 20. You said you won't date girls that young. I don't want to sound like a creep, but just in general terms, if the person is mature and nice and compatible, I don't care about age. Yeah, I honestly don't care. Yang and moan. Like the clapping sound in the first class at an airplane during the flight. Yeah. They was stealing like bread. Nah. I would choose you and not the buff guy. Well, if you go there, you see different stuff. Being a hoe on a trip is fine. Just be safe. Thank you for the approval. I don't think I'll be a hoe though. Like I'm just not that kind of guy. Yeah. Yang. I feel bad for the mayor. Like if you just type in Yang on YouTube, I didn't type in any other words. The thing that pops up is like half naked people and like clubs and pubs and all that and like doing this shit. You know, this is the image that pops up if you have Yang. Yeah. It's like, these are only shorts, but like people, you know, it looks pretty hot. I don't know what these people are doing, but yeah, it looks like a fun area, I guess. Yeah, this says why Yang's image went to Narak. It went down. Why surfing is trending in Yang. Ooh, I'd like to go surf with her, right? What the hell is this? This is Yang Road. It's like a club where youngsters are all enjoying their nights. It looks like a fun place, honestly. You know, these are the thumbnails what you get for like Yang. So, you know, everybody's like half naked in their best bikinis and all that, and yeah, all that stuff. So, wow, a news reporter even went to Yang to like actually see if it's actually pretty hot. Okay. Yeah, okay. Oh, some foreigners over there too. Yeah. Okay, I'd like to go. Ooh, what's this? Oh, this is Japan. Japan's Yang. Apparently there's a Japanese version of Yang. Oh, who's this? Okay, she went to Yang. Okay, wow. Okay, I'm interested in going now. Yeah, no wonder people flock over there. Oh, what's this? 4K? Wow, look at their shoulders. Like these guys are buff as hell. Like I don't understand where all these like buff dudes pop up from. You know? Oh, let's look at the peak over here. What's on this part? Oh, probably a hot girl passing by. Okay. Okay, okay. Anyways, why am I watching this? I'm just getting more depressed and depressed. Go to Yang Yang. Maybe I should go. David, you have a personality most older ladies like. Just saying. Cast your net wide. That's what I've heard from a lot of my years of life. Yeah. A lot of mothers like me, and a lot of mothers would like to introduce them to their daughters, but at the end, their daughters are not interested in me. A lot of mothers say that I'm very nice husband material, and they would like to introduce them to their daughters to me, like Korean ajumas too. And but yeah, apparently young girls like idol or model looking figures that have like good fashion sense and look like fuck boys and all that. But ajumas and older girls, older women like profiles like me that look like a church boy and nice, nice human being, good personality, educated and all that. That's what matters. But for the young girls, all they care about is like, oh, he looks fashionable. He has like those accessories on. He's got a tattoo, like, all that. But David booking his train ticket for Yangyang after the stream. Yes, I will actually text Sangu and ask him to go. Yeah, I will text Sangu and ask them to go to Yangyang. 상우님, 양양. I won't even say anything. I'll just send him a link, and he'll say, "Let's go." Yeah, sounds good to me. You went away for 2 hours. I'm still live. I usually do a lot of lives, and as I said, I rarely get any human interaction nowadays. So this is a very nice nice activity for me. So wow, I've been live for 2.5 hours. It's 4 a.m. So I think I'll cut it short today and get some sleep for the new week that is coming. And maybe I'll answer like some of your last questions and end it in a few bit. Wrong time of the year for Yang Yang come to Australia. Oh damn, I want to go. Can I couch surf at your place, because I never want to spend any kind of hotel fees. I want to try going to Gold Coast, the northern part of Australia. I haven't been there. Yeah. I wasted some time on Canberra. I don't even know why I went there. It was like a straight line and it leads up to the Parliament building, and that's it. Recently I saw this crazy movie about a real story about like this man that lives in the outback that kidnaps couples on like desert tours and stuff, and he has his own hut and den, like and he never got caught. He was like a serial killer or whatever. That was scary. It's 3:58 in Korea right now. David, is it worth to do language school in Korea during January? I feel like it will be too cold. If you're talking in general about like the experience in Korea, then it is cold, yes. If you're specifically talking about language school, I don't see the correlation between weather and it, yeah. But of course, coming in a better season would be preferable, right? Like autumn or spring. Yeah. It was my mom who introduced me to your channel. It was always David spoke about this, David done this. I wanted to finally put a face to a name, and here I am. Thank you, Kel's mom. In Korea, do they party much in rooftops? Is that a trend? Yeah, when the weather is nice, there are a lot of rooftops. I almost got tricked into trying doing weed when I was in an Australian rooftop party. It was nothing fancy. It was like a guest house, like a backpackers, and they had like this community rooftop party every Wednesday or whatever, barbecue party. And I just went there to check it out, and this guy was like handing me like a cigar or whatever. And then it smelled weird, and I knew it was like weed, so I was like, I can't do that. I'm 35 now, and I feel like a grandma. That's how I feel too. Like I'm turning 33 now, 32 at the moment. But yeah, when you're over 30 in Korea, you feel like a fossil, because the culture is just so centric in 20 centric. It's crazy that you can't even enter clubs in Hongdae after you're 30. That's like so discriminatory. Here's the sore loser ajashi complaining, right? Yeah, the 20s folks won't even look up towards like 30s people. Like if there's a 3 in the age, the 20s people are gonna be like, oh, that's so old. I hate missing a live and coming at the end. Well, you can always watch the replay and play it in 2x speed. That's how I do it. I don't have any favorite horror movies. They're just so scary for me. I can't stand it. And let's not talk about scary stuff because it's 4 a.m. and I have to go home alone. I guess you guys, a lot of you guys enjoyed the last Instagram live I did when I was going home. Come on, David, you know better than that. Don't let that part of the culture get to you. What culture? The weed thing? I didn't do it. But anyways, if they allow 30s people in the clubs, they do not have the energy to do a wild clubbing. That's also true. Yeah. You can't enter a club after 30. That has to be illegal in some way. Yeah, maybe, but I don't know. It's like on the business owners. It's the business owner's freedom to accept certain kind of customers. Yeah, and it's not only age. Like there are a lot of controversial topics and TikToks about like racial discrimination in Hongdae as well, or in like Korean clubs in general. A lot of clubs don't accept foreigners to begin with, and then you can also go down to like ethnic minorities, people of color, and all that. Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty wild. So if you're going to like an Itaewon club, you'll probably be accepted as a foreigner and like over 30 or whatever. They don't really care in Itaewon because Itaewon's like the international hub of Korea. So it's going to be a safe place for you over there. But if you were to be in Hongdae, there's going to be a lot of discriminations from some particular clubs. There are foreigner-friendly clubs here and there. But you might face some discrimination if you're conventionally not attractive and you're a foreigner, then they might like screen you out. Yeah, and even in some Gangnam clubs, I think Gangnam clubs have the highest criteria for like looks and visuals. So even if you're like a Korean person, you're not dressed well, or you're fat, or you're not attractive, then they'll like they'll reject you from the club. The fixers in front of the club, the guards. It's like their subjective, thing. But I think they have guidelines and stuff. But it can be harsh sometimes. That's called 입ben, 입장 ban, like entrance ban. Some clubs don't accept foreigners, black people, etc. It's wild. Yeah, it's not only like black people. It's like Latinos or like Indians or Pakistanis or Muslims or whatever. Yeah, there's so many incidents of that. Yeah, and I honestly can't side on any because to be fair, it's case by case. Of course, like in the general rule, it's like discriminatory, but there are arguments from the club owners too that they want like a Korean club, and the reason they screen foreigners is that a lot of foreigners don't speak Korean, and the customer base, they're there to basically interact with other people. But if there's too many foreigners and they don't speak Korean, then that like downgrades the experience for the Korean people who are there to try to find a partner. And as you know, like clubs can only accommodate a certain amount of people. And they just want it to be like a breeding ground for Korean people only that are fluent with Korean. Yeah. And I guess in that logic, like if you're a foreigner and you speak fluent Korean, you could get in, but still you would maybe get screened just because of that. They don't want to like verify every single case, and they're just lazy about it. So they're like, oh, no foreigners. That's it. And I guess like that's discriminatory in an international kind of viewpoint, but in the business owner's perspective, like the main customer base is Korean people, and he wants the word of mouth to get out as like, oh, this club has hot Korean girls, and it's like mostly Korean people. They're there to like hook up or whatever, and it's a business point of view. So I don't think of course there are racist motives as well for certain clubs. So yeah, but I don't think you can generalize though. Yeah. Hey Rachel, I hope you had a nice birthday party today. Yeah, great to have you back. We were just talking as usual. Clubs are not as they used to be anyways. No one dances, everyone's on their phone or looking for a partner. Might as well turn the music off. That's true. Everyone's just there to hook up. The guys are trying to score. Girls say that they're on a girls' night out, but are they really? I don't know. I've never been inside the mentality of the girl. Maybe it's like if it happens, it happens. If it not, I'm gonna say it's a girls' night out. Yeah. How do singles in their 40s and 50s people? I have no idea. You've only had good experience in Korean clubs. Well, that's great for you. Usually when you say anything like nowadays, not only clubs, but if you say anything in the line of something positive about a Korean experience on social media, people will start bombarding you with negative comments. Like the usual repertory is like, you know, no, why are you sucking up to Korea? They're so fake. They're like the suicide rate is so high. Like their men are horrible. They're all abusers. They have like deep fake problems, Anthroom. They beat their women, and there's such a competitive, superficial society. Like they're all plastic. Um, they don't care about personalities. You're probably white. So you get that good experience. Tell that to like you know, a darker skinned person or whatever, and it's just so frustrating to see all those comments. But I don't know what it is, but there's suddenly such like a negative wave of opinions about Korea in like TikTok and social media. Yeah, it's just wild out there. Yeah. I've noticed a lot of Korean hate recently. I have no idea. I think people like I would just like to think people like the fact that those people take time out of their day to comment some negative thing about Korea, that just proves that they care to some extent and they want to prove a point. So either they've actually had a negative experience and they're very salty about it, or they're actually just like jealous or they just don't like the hype. Yeah. So I don't. It's just frustrating to see as a person, a Korean person. I think it's just the side effects that come with sudden hype and clout from media and such. Yeah. It's like anything that Korea is on the top list, like oh Korea's number one, like they're just funny posts. Like apparently Korea's number one with like the most beautiful women, and then all the comments will be like plastic, 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 plastic. They're all fake, blah 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 blah. Same for men. Oh, they're like abusers. They're nothing like K drama people. Blah 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 blah. But when if it's like, I'm sorry, like I'm just taking this random example. If it's like the Philippines or if it's like India, they're like, yes, India is beautiful. It's the most beautiful country. Like blah blah. And then if it's the Philippines, yes, we're the most funniest people. Blah 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 blah. And there's no negativity around it. But then when something is Korea, every nationality just comes in and says like gay. They're more like estrogen. They're not even like males. They're fake plastic surgery anyways. I would never live in Korea because the suicide rate is blah blah blah. And it's so weird. It's so weird. I don't know what it is. Yeah. Yeah. I lived in Korea in 2000 and loved it. It was before the Korean wave. Yeah, I think it has a lot to offer. I guess Korea is pretty popular right now and in the spotlight. It comes with everything popular. That's what I think too. Yeah. People just want to hate. I feel like normal people don't comment that kind of stuff. Exactly. That's what I feel too. There are so many people that are just happy in Korea, but like, you know, it's just when like people criticize the US, some of this justified, but most of it's not. Yeah, I see that too. There's a lot of troll farms pushing those kind of things then real people get swayed to take up. Yeah. The the problem is that, everybody knows to some extent it's not true, but because of the power of social media and collective opinion, that seems like it's validated to some extent if there's a lot of likes there, and then that just like becomes the common opinion, and people that don't know about Korea look at those comments and they accept that and they absorb that opinion. So that's the problem, and that's the thing I'm worried about. I'm stressed about. Thank you, Michelle, for the purchase on Biroso. Thank you so much. The goat Uncle Dan is here. Is Uncle Dan in the chat? Is he finally in the chat? Where is he? I don't see Uncle Dan in the chat. Where is the goat? We live part time in SK and love it. Living sweetly, how was your trip? I hope you landed safely and you're having a nice time in Korea. Yeah, I remember last live stream you were flying into Korea. Yeah, and then you said like you had to go. I was shocked that you have like a a second I don't know like a home in Korea as well. So yeah, great to see you, Nuna. And also Uncle Dan, 형님 too. Yes, yes, here, yes. Always in the back, listening. I really appreciate. I didn't see Uncle Dan here. Me neither. But apparently he is here. We are in Busan right now. Yes, yes, yes. 와, 뭐 필요했어? No, no. We were just like today. It was a small group of people. It was 280 people, less than usual. But I saw everybody, like every topping, the regular toppings names in the chat. But then we were missing our MVP. Yeah. So we even had Rachel's birthday party and everything. Hey, Mary, you're here too. Yeah. See, like all these names and all these profiles, I like they're all like engraved in my head right now. I want to give myself some credit because it's honestly not an easy job. Yeah. So that was one thing that was different between Danny and I, because I know it's a little bit like draining to put a little bit more attention and like have a relationship or intimate kind of interaction between your live stream viewers and you, because like I'm dealing with multiple people at once, at least like more than 200 people. If like the views spike, it's like 400 to 500 people, and it's like it's very impossible for a human being with the brain capacity to memorize every single person in the chat. But as this becomes like repetitive over weeks and weeks, I basically see all of your names in at least the active ones, the toppings and the hoodie gang. So I recognize almost all of you now, and your IDs have become so familiar. So yeah, that's good. But then Danny used to like there was like a little bit of a conflict between us. So Danny was more like, I'm kind of overwhelmed of having like even if it's like a light relationship between the chat or our fandom, and having like a personal, connection towards them, because I understand his point too, and I think maybe in a sense that might be even professional. So he was like, if we get tied and if we start getting like attached to every single one of our viewers, there's no end to that. And some people will feel like at some point they will feel sad or they will feel neglected if I don't give attention to them. And some people will start demanding more than other people. And some people might want favoritism, and all those very subtle and delicate dynamics come into play once you actually start to recognize certain people and start to like actually interact with multiple people, like multiple the chat. So Danny was like, let's not do that in the first place. Let's just clearly divide us from the viewers, from the creators. And that was the approach we tried to take. So like until the first early days, of course we knew all of our subscribers and all of our ducks back then. But then slowly, one after another, since after we became bigger and bigger, more and more people, out of love and affection, they were like, I'd love to meet you, I'd love to meet up, could we have lunch together? Like they sent letters, and it piled up. And then we have a lot of work to do, and then replying to those letters and reading them and putting energy into them. Once you're facing multiple people, like it just doesn't it doesn't work. So I think he had a good point. So he was like, let's not establish that kind of stance in the first place, so that in the long run we don't set ourselves in a position that like the newbies, they'll be like, oh, why is he like favorite, like preferential towards like these group of people? And then the OG fam might be like, if they don't start getting responses, and they used to get responses in the old days, they'll feel like, oh, he has changed, like he doesn't care about us anymore, we're just like viewers on the chat. So Danny was like, to prevent all of that, I feel like the professional route would be like, just be a content creator and read comments, but not get too personal or get too connected. And I understand his point of view, but I had a very hard problem doing that because that's just my personality. And then whenever I started like recognizing certain people in the chat and all that. And then those people started like messaging me, and then uh, trying to meet up with us in Seoul. And then I was like, yeah, let's go, because like they've been tuning in for a while and they've supported us, and I want to meet them too. Danny was like, but when does this stop? You know, like we can't meet every single person that's coming. And he had a point too. And sometimes I was tired too, but yeah, it's a very tricky situation. Anyways, yeah. Wait, Uncle Dan gave out 5 memberships. Thank you so much, Uncle Dan. Always the goat. 형님 감사합니다. 차. 차. It's like, is that cha as like here it is, or is that like go to sleep? Whichever it is, 감사합니다. Appreciate it. I love our little family. Me too. Me too. Happy birthday, Rachel, again. Uncle Dan is a freaking rock star. Yeah, see? Hoodie gang gang. I need to learn how to get a membership. It's random selection, I think. Danny used to hate your comments, really? Sorry, I'm supporting multiple new channels. No pressure at all. Any kind of support. Just the fact that you guys are viewing my live stream, I've always emphasized. Yeah, can cause that parasocial relationship. Yeah, exactly. It's very tricky. Yeah, David knows me but always says my name wrong. What is it? Isn't it Aaron? How do I pronounce it? Arine? Arine? There's no other way to pronounce it. No? I'm sorry, but the only pronunciation that pops up in my head is Aaron. Streaming lives ain't easy. Yes, thank you. Rayla-san is here too. Different viewpoints, all good. Yeah. So we had a nice balance. I work with people who think like Danny, but I'm a little like David in my stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Partners can be different in style. You got to find the middle ground. Roscoe will personally point you out during his live stream. Who's Roscoe? Is he like a big streamer? I mean, I get it. It's just to keep yourself safe. The internet is full of all kinds of people. Yeah, that stuff can really pile up. Yeah, that's true. When I was younger, I went through wild places, but never got involved on how crazy life on the other fence. But that was fun to see. I'm 66-year-old. Wow, great. I love that I have a diverse audience in terms of like demographics, locations, and all that. I honestly kind of agree with Danny. It's nice to recognize some people, but the drawbacks may outweigh the positive. Yeah, once it piles up, I understand. Because we're a small community over there, I can handle it, but once it gets like, bigger, then yeah, that's when like the complaints and the 실망 and like 서운함 comes in. In Busan for the film festival. Yes, our second home is in Seoul. We truly love it. My husband is South Korean due to his business. We live between South Korea and North America. Wow, that's amazing. My friend Leo is in the Busan Film Festival right now. Jin is at Busan right now for the Rock Festival too. I understand where Danny was coming from. That would get overwhelming and stressful. People are tricky to navigate just listening to your explanation. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, everybody understands what Danny's referring to some point. Only Danny used to notice me, TT. David only notices my Insta comments. Really? I'm sorry. Rar cat. I'll try to memorize you now. I'd be more active, but I think most people don't agree with my perspective. Yeah. Good fences make good neighbors, particularly online and for safety. Yeah, boundaries and balance is key. Yeah, I guess that's the more professional approach. Roscoe is a K-pop streamer, but mostly is on Twitch these days, so he doesn't get blocked. Oh, okay. Rin? Wait. Did Erin say how to pronounce her name up there? Oh, your name is Cameron. but people always made fun of me saying it's a boy name, so I shortened it. Oh, like Cameron. Cameron Phillip, yeah. Cameron. Okay, so it's supposed to be Rin. So should I call you Rin from now on? I just like listening. Great, Steffi. Yeah. You don't have to be like an active viewer. I'm sorry, I don't know how to read this. I think having the same jacket with Soul Icon would be great. Yeah. About this t-shirt, right? Yes. Okay, Rin. From now on, it's Rin. I'll try to memorize that. You're watching this while browsing Redfin. What's Redfin? Okay, guys. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's been 3 hours already. So, I'm going to go to sleep now. I'm going to go head to bed. Yeah, David, you should check out this Guinness ad I've been seeing on TV between football matches recently. It seems to have a shot on a rooftop futsal court. Looks cool and want to go there. Yeah, I'll check it out. I don't know what you're referring to right now, but if it pops up, yeah. I'd much rather be named Cameron than my name. Mary Potter. I'm sorry for laughing. It's because the mic, the camera was covering up your name, and I didn't know whose message I was reading from, and then I saw it, and it was Mary Potter. I assume you're saying that because it's because of the Harry Potter reference, right? Yeah. Yangyang Beach and how him and Sangwoo will take a trip there. Yeah. Always thank you, David, for streaming. No, thank you for everyone for tuning in and chatting with us. Yeah. I love how you guys like chat amongst yourselves too. So, yeah, if you want to chat more, you can join the Discord chat. It's in the description. Yeah. Like that there I adopted Danny's policy because he was right with the Discord chat for DKDK. Like, once you give favoritism to certain people, and once some people become mods, or some people like, all that, like it gets all entangled up. For my Discord chat for KPC, I set like the least, moderation or levels of authority or anything, and it's just like an autonomous society, and I don't give any guarantees or promises that I will like tune in and like regularly write or whatever. I just probably like repost like uploads or links, and sometimes tune in on to see what people are saying. So the downside of that is that it's not that active, but like nowadays I see people just like saying stuff and sharing videos and thoughts about culinary class wars and all that. So I think it's good the way it is. So if you're interested, join the Discord chat. And if you just want to see a little bit more about my personal life, go to JustDavid92 on Instagram. Yeah. I want to change my handle, but Instagram won't allow me to, and I'm afraid that if I change my handle, then it's going to revoke my blue check. So there it is. Yeah. There's the RM picture I was showing you about. Okay, guys, the video has died because the charging speed is not catching up with the usage of battery. So anyways, I'll just end it here. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I know that the audio is still going through. So see you guys, and hopefully you have a good week. Thanks for tuning in. Bye bye everybody. Bye. Check out